We're good.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Fire Network's continuing coverage of NFL football featuring your Fargo Invaders, tonight taking on the Minneapolis Warriors. We are in Woodbury, Minnesota, on the campus of Woodbury High School, as the top two teams in the league are set to square off in an early season matchup. The Warriors come in tonight after an impressive 83-0. Yes, you heard that right, 83-0 win over the Bismarck Wolves, led by former Invaders quarterback Javonte Johnson's 6 touchdown passes. For the Fargo Invaders, they got their first win of the season last week after they took down the Minneapolis Titans 30-12. And the defense did a fantastic job last week, limiting the Titans to less than 100 yards in total offense in a dominant performance. And, of course, as always, joining me in the booth is the one and only Matthew F1 Franco. Franco, here we are on the road for the first road trip of the season for you. And obviously our continuing growth in a new setup that seems to be working okay.
Oh, man.
Knock on wood.
It's like a Cadillac.
It kind of is, but I'm hesitant.
Big.
I'm hesitant to say anything like
It
that
rides
because
nice
I don't want to
I mean-
jinx anything. So for those of you at home, unfortunately, we hopefully are in our next broadcast, which will hopefully be on May 22nd at home against the Twin City SaberCats. We'll hopefully have the clock and the scoreboard and everything back up on the screen for you. So in other words, it's going to be a little bit like a radio broadcast tonight, where I'll be updating the score and the time left in each quarter. But you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to hear us, get our reactions to the game. As you know, this is a big matchup so early in the season, Matt. I mean, I don't know how else you can kind of describe it after how things have shook out with this league and how the Minneapolis Warriors have built their team with the sole purpose to reclaim the Northern Elite Football League championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big game. I think that the scales are probably tipping in the Warriors' favor at this point. What I'm really looking forward to seeing is if the Invaders' defense can really stop and confuse the Warriors' offense. That's going to be the game. And then I guess the other piece of it is, can the Invaders' offense get a spark lit underneath them and score some points and cut down on the mistakes? And you can't turn the ball over. Was it 7 times?
5. Well, there was 5 interceptions last week between 2 quarterbacks, and there was a muffed punt or a blocked punt inside their 5. A number of other kind of mistakes that happened for the Warriors during the game last week. So there are a lot of inconsistencies that need to be cleaned up heading into tonight's game. But we'll see if the Invaders can do that tonight against a very formidable opponent in the Minneapolis Warriors, who I would say going into this season, if you had preseason rankings for the Northern Elite Football League, Franco, I would say that Minneapolis was probably at the top of that list, followed by Fargo and St. Paul heading into the season.
Yeah, and I think it's probably, well, we don't know. The Pioneers and the Invaders haven't faced yet, so we don't really know the truth there.
Right.
But I think that's a pretty good outlook. You did good, Jace.
I thank you.
You did so nice.
I know. A couple updated scores from across the league that's going on. We had earlier starts across the league, and St. Paul. Oh, that updated quickly. I had an updated score from East Grand Forks, where the Minneapolis Titans were hosting the St. Paul Pioneers. I believe it was 12-0 at halftime, and last I checked, it was 19-0. But looking at the score update now, it's 45-0 in favor of the St. Paul Pioneers, taking care of the Minneapolis Titans. So maybe the early season diagnosis of St. Paul being a step behind Minneapolis. Maybe I spoke too soon after they're handling their business on the road all the way up in East Grand Forks tonight.
Yeah, especially since the Invaders struggled with them a little bit last week.
And then out in, I think it's Wilton, North Dakota. Someone's got a phone, got a live stream going out there, but it looks like the Twin City SaberCats currently are beating the Bismarck easy for you to say. Bismarck Wolves 13-0. I don't know what quarter they're in right now. But obviously things have kind of shifted up in East Grand Forks with the Pioneers taking control of that game. And then SaberCats currently leading Bismarck 13-0. So a much better performance from Bismarck after what was a really rough start on the road in the cities last week, which that's going to be at least 6 to 7 hours of drive time between Bismarck and Minneapolis. And when the Fargo Invaders went out to Rapid City, South Dakota, an 8-hour drive out there, you could see the difference in the team that took the field for the Invaders, as they didn't have their full complement of defensive players. So semi-pro football is like that. Road trips are difficult, and you got to try and try and make it so that all your key members of your team can make it out there. So we'll see how things shake out tonight as the Invaders have taken the 4-hour trip down to Woodbury, Minnesota. I have not been at this field before. Frankly, you recall a game here probably prior to me joining the Fargo Invaders. It was quite a hot day in the city.
That's true. I'm pretty sure this is the field. I see that Lazan is on our YouTube channel.
Oh, well,
so
way to go.
You want to confirm for me, but I believe that was an SFL.
Should have been.
And I'm wondering if that was against the veterans that we were here. And I just remember it being super hot. I remember our good friend Ronnie Buck being pretty hot.
Well, I mean, if it's 90 to 100 degrees, I can totally see that. And we've got about 30 seconds before the clock hits 0, and then we're supposed to be ready to kick things away. So we'll wait and see. I did not see the call as to who won the toss.
We weren't really paying attention.
No,
I'm going to blame you on that one.
I was talking, as always. But the Invaders are getting ready with their special teams, and same thing for the Minneapolis Warriors. So the Warriors this year, new uniforms. I'm told that is maroon, I think, or maybe it's burgundy. But it's a different color than they used to. They used to be predominantly blue and silver, kind of like, Robinson Cooperdale High School. Similar colors to those guys, because that was their home field previously. And I'm hearing people yell for kickoff return closer to us, so I believe that the Invaders must have won the toss and are going to kick off. Yep, they're going to defer. So we'll get to see this Invaders defense take on this Warriors offense that is led by former Invaders quarterback Javante Johnson, which is kind of a twist of events. I mean, obviously in semi-pro football, there's obviously no contracts or anything like that you worry about. But, friends change teams, friends move. I mean, we've got a player that I didn't realize this, but one of our linemen actually lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And he's making trips all the way up here.
That's crazy. I think we're about to have the national anthem.
I believe maybe so.
That is quite a trek.
It's 8 hours
I had no idea.
plus another 8 hours to when we went to Rapid City. So I don't think we can hear the national anthem as part of the problem with the PA system here. So I don't know if we have audio of that, Mr. Franco.
Well, if it comes up, we will get it on.
So we'll take a moment now as the national anthem plays. So now we are ready for some semi-pro football from Woodbury High School here in Woodbury, Minnesota. I did not get a chance, Mr. Franco, to get our exact starters for this evening, but we'll kind of try and pick them out as we go. And if the Invaders are kicking off, that means we're going to see the Warriors offense to start things off. And they'll be led out by quarterback Javante Johnson. And they have their offensive line is Killings, Koger, Amos, Shaw, and Whitfield. Starting at running back will be Isaiah Sims. And then the 4 wide receiver set that they will go with will be Nathan Cromie. Number 84 is Will McKinney. Number 81 is Mo Strong. And number 33, Riza Mahmoud, who we've seen a number of times in our semi-pro travels. So kicking away once again tonight will be Quinn Redmond. As we said last week, one of the bigger kickers in the NFL now that he has got the kicking duties here tonight. And he laughed, Franco, last week at our comment about the biggest kicker in the league. He was also excited tonight that after he completes this game as a kicker and a safety, he's going to be able to change his official position to athlete, and then the old college game there.
Like Kadarius Toney, athlete.
Yeah. But anyway, as we're going to get set with Quinn set to kick this one off. And, of course, his jersey's pulled up, so I can't tell who is back to return this one. It's number 3. That is E.J. LeMay.
He did that on purpose just to mess with you.
I just think so. Redmond gets the kick away, end over end kick taken at the 15-yard line. Tries to follow his blockers right up the middle. He's got some room. He's going to be taken down outside the 40, down to the 42-yard line. Nice return there by LeMay, and that's where the Warriors will set up shop to start possession number 1. Starting on defense tonight for the Fargo Invaders along the defensive line, we have got a familiar face, Charian Smith, Anthony Antonio, Cornelius Wallow, and Jared Miller, along with linebackers Jermaine Armstrong, Michael Antonio, and Jameis Neal. We'll get to the cornerbacks in a second. Javonte Johnson looking to throw this one out, wants to go deep, is going to tip it down in. Ooh. Should have been picked off there by number 7. That is Travis Williams. Misplayed that one. Travis Williams, Quinn Redmond out there, Derek Alexander. Redmond and Alexander the safeties. Linnell Powers got the start out at one of the cornerbacks opposite of Travis Williams. So 2nd and 10.
So that's going to be something to watch all game, is to see where Javonte's head is at. If the Invaders can get in his head.
They've got the capabilities of having a very formidable pass rush for any team in this league. And they're going to need to do that because obviously that last snap, Javonte had plenty of time. Should have been picked off, really, with Williams right there. Johnson back to pass, under some pressure, going to screen pass set up, and he's going to be taken down right there by Anthony Antonio. Tried to get the little screen pass to Isaiah Sims. Isaiah Sims, Franco, if you recall, I don't know if it's officially, but I believe he might be the all-time leading rusher for the St. Paul Pioneers. Joined the Minneapolis Warriors this offseason.
I would believe it.
Sims is a long-time semi-pro football player. We've seen him every year. He's been a great back in semi-pro football.
He's just so consistent. He runs so hard. What a great player.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Pioneers, we're just talking about them, for the Warriors on their opening possession. Clock at 14:44, 2 incomplete passes, barely any time off the clock. Mahmoud in motion to the right. Johnson looking to pass, has some time. Moves around the pocket. Cornelius Wallow getting held a little bit. Pass is going to be caught by number 84, down inside the 10, down to the 5. Cornelius Wallow was trying to get the call for the holding penalty.
Yeah, that's a big one. That is some home field officiating right there.
Will McKinney on the catch just looked like he out-jumped. I believe that was Quinn Redmond, if I'm not mistaken. We almost had that one knocked away, which would have brought up 4th down, and now you're going to have 1st and goal for the Warriors at, I believe, their own 8-yard line. No, excuse me, 3-yard line, inside the 5. So another big pitch and catch. Once again, we've seen this, in Invaders colors before, Franco, with Javonte Johnson. My guess is right here they're going to do a little RPO, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Isaiah Sims try and run this one in. So 1st and goal for the Warriors on their opening possession. Clock running with 13:47 and counting. Handoff right there to Sims, and he's going to be taken down the backfield nicely by Jermaine Armstrong. Read that play beautifully. Got in the backfield, taken down, I believe, for a 4-yard loss. Will be 2nd and goal now from, I believe, the 7. So I don't blame the Warriors for going that route to try and get into the end zone with one of the best running backs in the Northern Elite Football League history. And now Johnson back in the shotgun once again, 2nd and goal. Snap here. He's got some time. He's going to throw the lob pass to the corner. You got that matchup over there on the outside. That is, I believe, Nathan Cromie matched up against Linnell Powers. Linnell out there on the island, as it were, Matt, by himself. He's listed as 5'5". So a bit of a mismatch there. I believe Cromie is probably at least 6'2" to 6'5". I don't know what his exact height is. So now the big back comes in, number 34 for Minneapolis. That's Mac McClendon. And they're going to try and fake the run under pressure across the middle, in and out of the hands of Derek Alexander, who runs into Quinn Redmond.
That's two.
Two potential interceptions that the Invaders could have had to stop drives. First one just went through Williams' hands. This one knocked out of the hands by a teammate. And that'll bring up 4th and goal. And the Warriors are going to bring out their field goal unit. And I believe they have number 20, John Ostertag. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, Franco, he is a former Pioneers kicker.
I was just going to ask.
I think well, maybe I take that back. Maybe he's just kicked a long time for the Warriors. I'd have to think about that now. Now I'm questioning myself.
We've definitely seen him. No, that must be my iPad. Yep.
I know you like listening to me.
I do like listening.
You like listening to me now, and then when it comes through the feed, a few seconds later. I mean, you could just just tell me that, Franco. You don't have to act like. So Ostertag, maybe he's just been a long-time Warriors kicker. I might be wrong on that one, but he's
definitely been around the league.
He's been in the NFL for some time now. Maybe he was actually the kicker for the Stampede down in Sioux City, because there are a number of Sioux City players that have migrated up
here. I wish
you
just knew.
I know.
I don't know why we're guessing here.
I don't know. Ostertag trying to kick this one through to get some points on the board. Snap set, and the kick is up, and it is good.
Ooh. So
after the big play, the Fargo Invaders defense stiffens, and we get a little trash talk between the two teams already. And that makes it 3-0 with 12:55 to go in the first quarter. Minneapolis 3, Fargo nothing.
Well, I think that was a good recovery to hold them to 3 there.
It was, and there was a couple opportunities to force turnovers, which I like to see. But we'll see. The key tonight, though, is going to be what this Invaders offense can do against the Warriors defense.
I think that's probably the truth.
Because there's been turnovers that have been an issue for the Invaders. We had a couple out in Rapid City. We've had back-to-back weeks where we've either had an interception thrown into the end zone or right at the goal line. So, I mean, there's potential couple touchdowns right there that the team should have had. I mean, there were ample opportunities for the Invaders to get that win out in Rapid City against the War Eagles. And then last week was, in essence, a dominant win, but the wide receivers needed to make some plays for the quarterback, kind of wrestling those balls away from it. So we need a cleaner pocket, we need some crisper passes, and we need to not turn the ball over. If something's not there, then, live to fight another down, as they always say.
Absolutely. So 12:55 on the clock, 3-0 Warriors.
And
first quarter.
Oh, shoot, I just had it. Also, I want to keep an eye on tonight. There is a United States Hockey League playoff game between.
Lazan is correcting us. Man, I'm so happy for him because he can't get it right. He has always been a Warriors kicker.
Okay. Didn't he go down to Sioux City, though? I want to say one season he was down in Sioux City, but I totally get it.
I believe Lazan.
So the Fargo Force trying to finish off the Sioux City Musketeers in USHL playoffs, lead 1-0 in the second period. So if my younger daughter's listening, that way she knows what the score is. Ostertag set to kick this one off. Back deep is Constant Jackson. It's going to be kicked out of bounds, so there's a penalty flag. So that means the Invaders will get the ball 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. So a good start that way. Defensive starters for the Warriors tonight. Defensive line is Tamset, Berg, Bortle, and Lager, while their linebacking core is Jackson, Torrey, and Vaughn. And their cornerbacks, Joyner Jr., who is we saw him play with the Sioux City Stampede before. Murray, Goad, or is it Good? Good, I think. And then Tevis Wilson is the other cornerback. 4 wide receivers set to start things off. Brandon Jones in the backfield with Dev Alger to start things off for the Invaders. 2 safeties for the Warriors. Bobbled snap. Dev Alger gets it and then tries to quickly get it out to John Bonney. Cannot come up with that. John Bonney and Nate Soto wide to the left on that first play, which is a different look this week compared to last week. They had one of those receivers on each of the sides, 2 of the big receivers. Soto was listed at 6'5". John Bonney's listed at 6'2", but he plays like he's 6'5". And then They flipped the formation now. This time, Constant Jackson and number 80 should be Marcus Sigmund. Out wide. Handoff up the middle to Brandon Jones. A nice cut, puts his foot in the dirt, and gets picked up and thrown down after a 4-yard gain. Still a nice run by Brandon Jones there. So that'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Invaders on their opening drive. Trying to check everybody's roster because I think I had a typo in the roster last week. So 3rd and 6 for the Invaders. 4 wide receiver set once again. Free play for the Invaders. Going to just toss it out deep. And it's caught by John Bonney. Had the free play. Got the Warriors to jump. He goes and makes a nice jumping catch. And gets the first down. So that'll be a first down for the Invaders. 12:05 on the clock. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders at the Minneapolis Warriors 39-yard line. Another handoff this time to Brandon Jones. Tries to bounce to the outside, but taken down nicely that time by linebacker number 44 is Joshua Vaughn.
Second down.
And so a loss, it looks like, on the play of about 2 yards. Waiting for the scoreboard to update me so I can confirm if I'm seeing things right.
Make sure you use your binoculars.
Yeah. Trying. I needed binoculars just to look at my roster for the Warriors. Alger looking to pass, rolls to his right, just going to chuck this one out of bounds. I don't know if he bobbled that snap a little bit there, Franco, or what, but he rolled to his right, and I don't think he realized that as much time as he had in the pocket there as he thought he did, because he rolled and just kind of threw that one away when it seemed like he had plenty of time to make things happen. So 3rd and about 12 now for the Invaders. 4 wide receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Brandon Jones in the backfield with Alger. Alger with time in the pocket. Little screen pass to Brandon Jones. Penalty flag down. I don't know if we've got a block in the back or a holding. Could be coming back. I would almost think the Warriors might decline it and just force the Invaders to punt from here.
I think that's what I would do.
Trying to find out what the penalty is. No
We'll
penalty.
leave it off.
All right.
No call on the play.
So no penalty called then. That'll be 4th down. Ball is trying to find where they're spotting the ball. So the ball is spotted at the 37-yard line. So gain of 4 on that last play for the Invaders. But clock running now, 10:55 and counting. 4th down. And Jameis Neal III, Trey Jameis out there to punt this one away. Gets the kick away. High end over end kick. It's going to let it bounce. Going to take a Warriors bounce, and it's going to die. It's going to be downed by, I believe, Derek Alexander at the 17-yard line. So with 10:30 on the clock here in the first quarter, Minneapolis leads 3-0 against the Fargo Invaders. As always, we want to thank our sponsors this season: Moorhead Massage and Wellness, Health Source of North Fargo, Wear Repair, Thrivent Financial, Intrepitech, Novelty Construction, Dots Pretzels, and as always, Discovery Benefits, and Skill Cuts, FM Visitors Convention Bureau, and I think I'm missing one. Otter Tail Mid-Dakota Coaches. That's who I was missing. So Javante Johnson back out on the field for the Warriors with a 4 wide receiver set. Fakes the handoff, quick pass to the outside to Cromie, who's got that matchup against Powers, And he's taken out of bounds by Powers and Jermaine Armstrong.
Second down.
And so that is a gain.
Second down 1.
Trying to find where they spotted that, Franco. Is that 2nd and 3? We've got the players in front of the sideline there, so. So second and a yard or two. What's that?
I said you're full of excuses.
I know. Man in motion this time. Fakes the handoff, and then they hand it off to the running back, who's almost brought down, breaks out of the tackle, still on his feet, is going to get that first down, I believe. Almost had him taken down in the backfield. I see Jameis Neal Jr. pointing that they thought he was down in the backfield, but he spun out of it, and they're going to give him his forward progress back to, well, they marked him down at the 25, just on the other side of the 25-yard line. So we got 3rd and a yard. And they've got a defense chant going on the loudspeakers when they're on offense, so that was nice of them to think of us.
That's right.
Very hospitable.
I like that about them.
So 3rd and short, heavy package in once again for the Warriors. 3 wide receivers set. Johnson tries to draw him offside, gets the snap, fakes that pass, fakes the handoff, pass, nobody there. Nice coverage there by Quinn Redmond. And that will bring up 4th down. So 4th down and a yard from their own 25-yard line. They should be sending Ostertag out there to punt this one away. So a nice defensive stand there by the Invaders, especially when it looked like they might not have things going their way after that nice first play, a gain of almost 9 on that first play.
60 minutes in the game.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, 8:20 on the clock, 3-0 Warriors.
Thank you, sir. So Josh Gatling back deep to receive this punt. Also back is Derek Alexander, who had a punt return last week called back due to a penalty. Ostertag is a penalty flag. I believe we got a false start.
Flag for the play.
So that'll back him up 5. And that'll make it 4th and 6 with 7:57 on the clock. So overall, not a bad start for the Invaders defense, even though they had the one big play that set them up for the field goal. But overall, they've shown some signs that they can contend with this vaunted Minneapolis Warriors offense. So it's a long game, though. We're only halfway through this first quarter, but I like what I've seen from the defensive side of the ball. Now to get the offense going, that's going to take a little work there. Ostertag takes the snap, gets the kick away. Spiraling kick going to be fielded by Derek Alexander. Bobbles it and gets hit, and it's turned over. Still loose, and it's going to be recovered eventually by the Invaders. Wow. Talk about a stroke of luck there for the Invaders. Derek Alexander tried to run up and field that.
They're actually going to give it back to the Invaders.
Yeah, because they recovered the
Oh,
fumble.
did he? I thought
That ball was on the turf by itself. There was nobody but Minneapolis Warriors there to try and recover that. I think I saw Creston Tolbert there, a couple other Minneapolis Warriors there, and they were unable to get it. I mean, that with the pressure that was coming down to cover that, Franco, I almost think that the proper play would have just simply called fair catch.
Fair catch, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
And I know so many of these guys want to be able to make a big play, but sometimes you try and make a big play, you make a mistake, you make a big play for the other team. So,
well, Derek knows he personally owes me one, so
exactly.
I'm sure that was going through his mind.
Hand off there to Brandon Jones, tries to break the tackle. He's going to be taken down in the backfield once again. That should be Joshua Vaughn.
Tackle on the 3-yard line.
You know, maybe it was 42 that time. William Love. I think it was 44 on that tackle. So a loss on that play. They'll mark him down at the 33, so a loss of 2. So 2nd and 12, clock running here in the first quarter. Invaders offense last week, even though statistically it probably didn't look like it, play-wise they were pretty balanced between the run and the pass. And they need to maintain that balance to try and keep the defense off guard. Alger with some time, passes across the middle, pass completed and caught by John Bonney out at the 41-yard line. So Alger hanging in the pocket, gets the pass to one of the most consistent players the Invaders have in John Bonney. And he gets a gain of about 8 yards, so that'll be 3rd and 4. So 3rd and manageable for the Fargo Invaders, second drive of the game for them. We'll see what head coach Zach Stitch dials up on offense here. Trips to the far side from us. Constant Jackson with single coverage down low on Tevis Wilson. Alger, blitz coming, rolls to his left, and he's just going to have to eat that one. Taken down by number 93, Brandon Tamset with the big hit. Warriors brought the blitz there. No time for Alger to make anything happen. And I mean, it would have been a little bit better if you was able to throw that one away. But to just take it and tuck it and take the sack, that's fine.
We have one official that called incomplete pass. So let's see where they spot this ball.
Oh, I thought it was just a sack, but maybe he did throw it away.
Again,
yeah, I guess he is.
You've got one official doing the incomplete sign.
Yep.
And looks like that's true.
So there it is. I am wrong. Once again, are you happy now?
It is a little confusing. We really got to mic up these officials.
I know. So 4th and 4 with 5:40 remaining here in the first quarter. Jameis Neal III back to punt this one away once again. Gets the kick away, end over end kick, nice and high. And that's going to be fielded back there. And the Invaders try and rip that ball. And he pitches it to his teammate, who was a little surprised by that, as was I. Risky play this early in the game, especially when you're leading 3-0.
Well, I think that goes to show you how much the Warriors want this game. I mean, Invaders are the defending NFL champions.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to want to come out and show us who's boss. That's just how it is. And so they're going to do what they can to really open this up. So, and they feel like they can. I mean, there's a ton of talent on this team.
Well, when you have a game like you had last week and you beat a team 83-0, I mean, I think confidence is at an all-time high. So we'll see how things go here in their 3rd possession of the day. 4 wide receivers set with Sims in the backfield with Johnson. Man in motion is Mahmoud. Jameis is going to roll to his right, or Javonte, pass is picked up off the turf. Still not down yet, finally taken down. They're going to mark him down at about the 49-yard line there, and that'll be enough for a first down. This isn't even halfway through the 3rd game of the season. There have been more catches made just off the turf than I've seen in the 3 years we've been covering this team. I can't believe that they've made that many catches about an inch or less off of the turf. I would have sworn that would have been an incomplete pass. But marked as a completed pass. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Some pressure put on there by the Invaders, so not obviously all kinds of time back there. Johnson back to pass. Once again, he's got plenty of time. He's going to swing it over the middle. Pass complete and caught. That time to number 81. That's Mo Strong with the catch across the middle.
That was a nice catch.
Taking advantage of that, looked like a little bit of a zone defense there in the secondary. Just kind of a developing crossing pattern there.
Yep.
Was able to catch it across the middle for another first down. So Warriors driving on their 3rd drive of the evening. 4 minutes remaining now in the first quarter. Warriors staying with that same formation. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Johnson sends Mahmoud in motion. They're going to hand it off to him on the jet sweep. He's going to pick his way through, but then he's going to be taken down right as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage. So it looks like he's going to pick up a yard on that play. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Warriors from the Invaders' 33-yard line, I believe. So the Warriors getting a little bit of traction on a couple of those passing plays.
Well, and you can see Javante kind of throwing away from Josh Gatlin here.
Mhm.
I've seen him come in the game now, and everything's going to the other side of the field.
Which is a cornerback that, to be honest, I'm not quite familiar with, Travis Williams. See, he's playing on that other side. And obviously we've got our two safeties back there, Alexander and Redmond. Now trips to the left, empty backfield for Johnson. A little bit of a high snap. He's got some time. He's going to scramble. He's going to avoid the sack, going to turn down the sideline and runs out of bounds. That's going to be a loss on the play. And they're marking him out of bounds back at the 42-yard line. So that'll go down as a sack by the Invaders defense there. Cornelius Wallow and Jared Miller, and among others, probably Anthony Antonio as well, all in pursuit out there. Tonight we also have the return of Dos Tonio. Both Anthony and Michael Antonio out there tonight, because when you have more than, what's better than Antonio? Dos Tonio.
There it is. I've been waiting all day for that.
I know, right? So 3rd and 18 for the Warriors at the Invaders' 42-yard line. Invaders just need to play this one and force a punt here. Johnson's going to shift Sims to his other side. Invaders fake the blitz. Under some pressure, here comes Wallow. Going to throw this one deep over to Cromie, and he overthrows him. Josh Gatling coming over in coverage. Josh Gatling left his guy and helped cover Cromie. You could see where Javante was going with that ball. So that brings up 4th down with 1:53 to go on the clock here in the first quarter.
Another good defensive stand.
Uh-huh.
Good friend of the show, the network, Dante Starr, saying hello to us. Hello, Dante. We miss you so much.
Also like to have a shout out to my dad who's watching and complaining as always. He's complaining about the camera work. He can't see the score. Just relax, Dad. Relax. You know, you want to say some people's kids, but in this case, it's some people's parents. And he keeps texting me too, so I'm trying to do something.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
We do have a new camera
yes
operator tonight, so
first time ever doing it.
We
Snap
are
to Ostertag. Kick is away. Gatling will let this one drop, and it's going to roll inside the Invaders' 10-yard line. They will mark it down. I see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at, it looks like the 6, but it almost looked like the Warriors player was going to catch that to down it, but then just keep on running and keep going back towards the end zone to see how close he could get.
it would have been a lot cooler if he went in the end zone.
I know, right?
It does sound like we have a camera operator going forward.
For home games, I believe I can get someone to do that, someone who's worked with us in the past.
I think that there's another person too. So that's good.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I was like, didn't want to announce that.
I think that now that we've asked somebody else to run the camera, there's some text messages going
All right.
around. So, and if you're interested, contact us.
Trips to the left, handoff,
Fumble.
bobbled. And I think Dev Alger is going to jump on that. And that's what happens when there's not enough practice time for some of this.
Yeah, and that just looked like the ball didn't come out of the quarterback's hands. The running back, it just never sat in his chest.
Yeah. So they lose a couple yards there, and they're got back at the 2-yard line, so a loss of 5. So 2nd and 15. And I tell you what, this looks like the time to bring in the jumbo package and just try and run this a couple plays before you have to punt it. Because this is getting uncomfortable when you get that deep in your own territory. Alger's going to throw it out quickly to Consta Jackson. Doesn't see it, picked off by Wilson. He's got some space, and he's going to be taken down inside the 10-yard line. Trying to get the one-on-one matchup with Consta Jackson. Constant is looking downfield. I mean, to be honest, Franco, we got used to that Constant Jackson, Javante Johnson connection 2 years ago in the last season we had. And Javante can really sling that ball out there, out in front of Jackson, one of the fastest players in the league. But that one was just a quick throw, underthrown by Dev Alger and picked off. And I believe that would be his 5th interception of the season so far. So that puts pressure on the Invaders defense as they're starting this next possession for the Warriors inside the Invaders' 10-yard line at just about the 9-yard line. So it's 1st and goal for the Warriors. This time number 24 in the backfield, Tyrell Martin, another long-time semi-pro football player. Going to throw this to the corner.
This could be
Pat
picked.
through the hands of number 84. That's McKinney. And then Travis Williams went through his hands. Second opportunity he's had to try and pick up a pass. We're going to need him to make a play if the Invaders want to pull out a win tonight. I mean,
Absolutely. We got to make Javonte uncomfortable throwing to either side.
Yes.
And to think about it.
And so that was good defense by the Invaders, and it could not come up with the interception. Dad's also patting himself on the back for his role as a camera operator in the past.
He's our favorite.
He's difficult to work with, though. So Warriors taking their time coming to the line of scrimmage. 52 seconds here in the first quarter remaining. 4 wide receivers set with Martin in the backfield by Johnson. Man in motion. Trips to the left now. Johnson, low snaps, going to have to scramble. Under pressure by Jameis Neal, taken down. They're going to mark him down at the 20-yard line. Jameis Neal with the sack on his former teammate. Absolutely. Back to the 20-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd and long. Clock running. We'll see if we get another play before the end of the quarter. Jameis read that beautifully.
I just got text. My parents are also watching from New York.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Franco, nice to hear from you.
Complimenting us on the clarity of our image tonight.
Good. The joys of semi-pro football. Mistakes will be made. Obviously, there is a reason some players are not playing at the next level, frankly, quite to be honest. And some are former players at a much higher level than I ever achieved in my life. But, you know, this is I like to say, this is like rec league on steroids, you know? This is, I mean, about as serious as you can get without getting paid to do this.
That's true.
And this is obviously, this is the premier league in the upper Midwest as far as Minnesota and North Dakota goes. It's really the only league anymore.
And Wisconsin, right?
Wisconsin's got a league, and they've also got another a league that some of the Wisconsin teams play where they're playing against teams from Chicago.
Okay.
So, to me, that's central-ish or whatever. To me, a lot of places consider Illinois and Wisconsin Midwest, and I guess when I think of the Midwest, I think of the North Central Plains.
I mean, I haven't heard Cleveland. I mean, they were talking about the draft, Midwest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty east to me. But
it is for me as well, yeah. So after one, your score, Minneapolis Warriors 3, Fargo Invaders nothing, with the Warriors threatening to score again with 3rd and goal at the 20-yard line coming up when they get organized. But overall, first quarter, some positives from the Invaders, but offensively, we need to see more from that offensive side of the ball. So 3rd and goal from the 20. Johnson giving the play call to his receivers and running back. The line's already at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll. So we'll see what they dial up here on 3rd down. So 4 wide receivers set for Johnson with Martin in the backfield with him. He's got some time. Wallow with the pressure. There's Williams, and then goes up and high points the ball. Caught for a touchdown. Nicely done by number 81, which is Mo Strong.
And that's just a height advantage. That's a size advantage right there. I mean, corner head position, and the guy just went up, and that's the beauty of that, of size.
Absolutely.
That's what you can't teach, right?
Yep. Which is unfortunate for the Invaders because they had a big play on 2nd down to push him back to the 20, and then Javonte Johnson goes to one of his big wide receivers, throws the jump ball, times it perfectly to go up and get that at the high point and take it away from. There was 2 defenders there for the Invaders to try and make a play, but could not make that play. So 9-0 is your score. And new to the NFL this season, as we adopt more NFL rules, is the extra point from being snapped from the 15-yard line for extra point kicks. So Ostertag to kick this extra point attempt. The snap, the set, and the kick is up. and it is no good.
Next play, no good.
Ostertag trying to get the Academy Award there for running into the kicker, but the referee is not buying it.
Nope.
In the 3 till halftime.
So the score remains 9-0 after an Invaders turnover. The Warriors capitalize on that just on a good play. They once again they go away from Travis Williams' side and get the size matchup over there and take advantage of it and get the touchdown. The Invaders are going to have to do something similar to try and get things going offensively. You've got a couple big wide receivers on the team with Nate Soto and John Bowney. John Bowney's made his presence known so far. We're going to need something from Soto and the rest of the wide receiving crew.
You know, we talked about on the way down here. Ball security is just really going to be so paramount for the Invaders to be able to win this game. If they lose the turnover battle, then it's going to be a long night.
It is, especially when there's been about 3 opportunities to make that game-changing interception.
That's right.
The Invaders have not been able to make that. And then on the one play that is a poorly thrown ball to a wide receiver that's not looking, Tevis Wilson makes the interception and sets his team up in great field position. Almost took it to the house himself. But then a few plays later, Javonte Johnson, after getting sacked, finally finds his big wide receiver in the end zone for the touchdown and makes it 9-0. So back to receive this one is going to be Constant Jackson and Jermaine Armstrong, one to each side. We'll see where Ostertag kicks it. Also, it seemed as though the Titans last week set up a onside kick when they were trailing late in that game and almost executed it perfectly. So that's one thing you always got to be concerned with too.
You guys got to communicate.
That's one of the newer running backs. Picks it up and finally makes a return back to the 25-yard line. So the upman there, I believe that is number 29, which is Tim Devaney, I believe, out there. Got to communicate with the return man, Jermaine Armstrong. Jermaine Armstrong, as we've seen in the past, Franco, he can make some things happen as a return man.
He absolutely can.
He's returned some punts for touchdowns for us. He's obviously returned some interceptions for touchdowns for us. So you got to give your playmakers a chance to make a play, and I know that Tim is just back there trying to do what he's coached to do, but a little bit of confusion.
And like you said
there.
a little early on, you said last week with special teams, it's hard to practice it.
Yep.
You only get a few snaps, and you're a new guy trying to make an impression.
So Invaders offense back on the field, trailing 9-0. Tight end this time. Blitz this time. Brandon Jones gets a handoff. Got some room, tries to get to the outside. He's going to dive over. Ball's loose. And it's recovered by the Warriors, I believe, but I don't know how they didn't mark him down when he got hit to the ground.
They are going to give it to the Warriors.
They are. So another second turnover for the Invaders, and it goes.
That's unfortunate. That was a good run. That was a good
It
effort.
was. And I don't have the stream up, so I don't know if you can see kind of the delay, whether or not.
No, it's already passed in the stream.
So an unfortunate play there. Second turnover of the game. And as you said, Franco, turnovers are going to be killer in this game if this is the way it continues to go. Offense has been inconsistent and struggled at times here early on in the season as they're trying to still find their footing with a couple of different new quarterbacks.
There's just so many question marks on the offensive side of the ball. So they're just trying to work through those.
And so when you give the opponent multiple extra chances with the ball, you're not putting yourself in a good position to win. Man in motion for the Warriors. Johnson looking to throw this one. Going to throw it out deep down the left side, targeting Wilson again, but pass is incomplete, out of bounds.
That was good defense there.
Using the sideline as a second defender. Obviously, they've seen that Williams, I keep worrying that I'm mispronouncing a name there or saying the wrong name. But Williams, good coverage there on the outside, forcing him along the sidelines. But just kind of, in a sense, is what I expected, Franco, is this type of offense from the Warriors with Javonte Johnson at quarterback. I would almost expect this type of offense with Javonte Johnson with almost any team. You want to take your shots down the field. In this league, his arm talent is unmatched, I believe, as far as arm strength and what he can do for that. So you have to throw him off his comfort spots. You got to put pressure on him, get after him, and not allow him to set his feet and really get that ball out there. So 2nd and 10 now for the Warriors. 14:31 on the clock here in the second quarter. Handoff this time up the middle to Sims, and he's going to gain a few yards there. He's going to get down to, it looks like, the 32-yard line. And that should be a gain of 5. So that'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for the Warriors. As the clock continues to run. I thought I got stuck on 7. Their clock might be a little bit old because it was at 10 and then the next one was 8. So the mechanism inside their game clock might not be working quite as well as it could, but it is what it is. So 3rd and 5 now for the Warriors. 4 wide receivers set with Sims in the backfield next to Johnson. Johnson's going to be a quick pass in and out of the hands of Mo Strong that time. And that'll bring up 4th down. But at the 32-yard line, I believe they're probably just going to go for it right here, Franco. So once again, we get the defense chant when the Warriors are on offense. So
I wonder if Petsnick's running the audio.
That would be – I don't know that would be particularly the right thing to do, especially as the league president and, the Invaders president. But I don't know. It's kind of funny if you think about it. So clock stopped here, 13:41 on the clock, second quarter, 9-0 your score. Warriors lead the Invaders. Scoring on their last drive with a jump ball pass to Mo Strong for the touchdown. Invaders trying to get the defense off the field after this play. Johnson with some time, got a man across the middle. Now Cornelius Wallow dives at him and gets him. Cornelius Wallow with the sack all the way back at the 45-yard line. We 1st and 10 for the Invaders from their own 45.
For a big man, that guy can move.
Well, I don't know what's gotten into him. Last week we saw him hurdling over a running back to sack Trevor Taylor, or attempt to sack Trevor Taylor of the Titans last week. This week he's diving at the feet of Javonte Johnson, gets enough of him to throw Javonte off balance, and he goes down for the sack. And after that fumble by Brandon Jones, Invaders defense does their job, doesn't give up any points. So here we go, 1st and 10 for the Invaders. 3 wide receivers set with the tight end on the near side towards us. That's Jeremy Peterson. Delv Alger in the backfield with Brandon Jones. Alger looking to pass, got some time, gets the pass out off the hands, and a penalty flies in late. Maybe we got roughing the quarterback or something. Yep, roughing the pass. That'll be 15 yards for the Invaders. And so they will get inside Warriors territory. Is this the second time they've been inside Warriors territory? They did on that first drive, I believe.
I think they were in, yep.
So 1st and 10 for the Invaders. That'll be out to the 40-yard line of the Warriors. Not the way you want to move the sticks, but it moves the sticks. Maybe it gives the Invaders a little bit of momentum on offense. Tried to get a connection there with Nate Soto, one of our newer wide receivers this season. So 3 wide receiver set, tight end on the left.
And got somebody.
Yep. Peterson moved because of the rush, but unfortunately, due to the rules of the game, that's going to go 5 yards against the Fargo Invaders. That'll back them up 5.
It's not any NFL rule.
Oh, really?
I mean, it must not be.
Yeah. Because we've seen this multiple times where there's been encroachment or offsides on the defense, but since the ball is not snapped and then one of our players moves, we're getting that false start penalty. But I know that Peterson only moved due to the fact that defensive end there, I believe that is, it's either, I think it was 40-something that time. But he moved related to that, so back them up 5. 1st and 15 for the Invaders from the 45-yard line of the Warriors. Alger set the pass, going to throw this one. Caught by John Bonney inside the 40, and they're going to mark him down at about the 38. So that'll be a gain of 7 on the play.
We have Elijah Israel predicting Warriors and P Unit in the championship game, which, okay, you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
It is very early in the season to predict that.
But with a good win today by the Pioneers, I mean, the Mindak Titans dropped to 0-2 on the season. I don't know what we have yet for the Twin Cities Sabercats. They were beating the Bismarck Wolves 13-0 last I checked. So long season to go, a lot of unknowns in this league. Handoff to Jones, who's going to fight his way through the middle, get down to the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Invaders. And I think the Pioneers game should be a final at 45-0. So St. Paul improves their record in the league to 1-0 and 2-1 on the season. They beat the River City Rough Riders, a former NEFL team, last week, and then they lost to the Kansas City Bulldogs, the defending national champion, in a non-league game. And I don't know if we are at a final yet, but Twin Cities leads Bismarck 26-6 right now. Alger going to throw this one deep, and just not a lot of time for him, so he just rushes that throw.
He had 2 guys open, it looked like.
Yep. So 4th down and 5 for the Invaders, and it looks like they're going to go for it at this kind of mid-range point on the field, where you're too far for a field goal attempt and you're too close to punt. I'm sure most people watching that probably figured that out, but I just like to explain it for the people that may not understand that. I try to be helpful like that.
You're so nice.
Thank you. So 4th and 5 for the Invaders. Constant Jackson and Peterson on the left. Bonnie and Soto up top. And the hard count gets him. Unfortunately, the guy that got was our guy Soto. So that'll be 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 10 from the 40-yard line. And I'm curious to see if they're just going to still continue to go for it at the 40-yard line. It looks like it because Dev Alger is still out there.
Yeah, Ken Daniels checking in, saying hi. What's going on, Ken?
So 4th and 10 now. Free play this time for the Invaders. Going to throw this one deep. Going to try and get it to Soto, but he's out of bounds, guarded by Tevis Wilson. So encroachment, that'll get us our 5 yards back. So it'll be 4th and 5 again. This kind of play right here, we're kind of stuck with both teams. We're just not getting anywhere either way. Back up 5, go forward 5. I would like to see Franco maybe some more crossing type routes, things like that. Some quick developing routes as well. These long developing routes tend to put our quarterbacks in kind of a position where they're under pressure and under duress trying to get the pass off. So 4th and 5 for the Invaders after the penalty. Alger with some time is going to pass it out, and that one.
I think that was tipped.
I think it was tipped, and he gets knocked down that time by number 93. I believe that is Brandon Tamset once again. So Invaders drive ends up stalling out at the 35-yard line of the Warriors. So the Warriors defense does their job there.
Another good friend of the show, Marcus. How's it going?
I don't know. Hi, Marcus. I don't know. I'm not. Marcus is not.
Geisler.
Oh, okay. He didn't mention the last name, so I wasn't sure who you're talking about. My bad. So Fargo Invaders defense once again tasked to try and stop the Warriors offense. And we've got legal substitution on the Warriors. Too many men in the huddle when they broke. So that'll be 1st down and 15 now. And I think they were set up to start this drive at the 34. So 1st and 15 from the 29.
12 minutes and 1 second on the clock. Second quarter.
Thank you.
9-0
So
Warriors.
3 wide receivers set. The big back in the backfield for the Warriors, Mac McClendon. Some extra pass protection. Swings it out to Tyrell Martin. Powers misses the tackle, makes another man miss, and he's taken down at about the 31-yard line. So a gain of a couple there. So 20 minutes left in the third period. Your Fargo Force lead 1-0 over the Sioux City Musketeers. Trying to be a 4 seed and get to the Calder Cup championship series, which would be impressive.
I'm already impressed.
You should be. So second, and I guess they gave him a couple more than I thought, out to the 32, so gain of about 3. So second, and we'll call it 13. Johnson with 2 backs in the backfield. Swing pass, little bubble pass out to Mo Strong. He's going to be almost taken down, broken tackle, and then he falls out of bounds, gains about 5. So he broke a tackle there of Josh Gatling, and then kind of just escaped from Jameis Neal. Gains a couple out to the 35-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and about 8.
39, ball 39-yard line.
So 9-0 is your score. Minneapolis leads Fargo. McClendon comes off this time. That's a large individual. That's like having an extra lineman in the backfield to try and protect you.
It's a nice asset.
So Martin in the backfield with Johnson. 4 wide receivers set. We'll see if the Invaders can force a Warriors punt here. Get the ball back. Johnson looking to pass. It's going to have to run. Antonio after him along with Miller. Is going to chuck it deep, and it's out of bounds. Tried to hit his receiver, Lakeem Johnson, along the sideline. Could not come up with it. It was going to be tough to just even catch it inbounds.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do with him is you got to get him outside the pocket. You got to get him out of his comfort zone, and then he is not as accurate for sure. I mean, I'm sure all quarterbacks aren't as accurate on the run unless you get to the next level. But that's what you have to do to defend against Javonte.
Yeah. And it's a nice pass rush that we're seeing from that front four of the Invaders, with a lot of damage being done by Cornelius Wallow, and then, of course, Anthony Antonio out there as well.
I forget. Who's number 44?
44
He
is
had a nice-
Jared Miller.
That's right.
Goes by the nickname Big Ten. And he's making some things happen out there. So nice to see that pass rush stepping up. Snap is back to Ostertag,
Oh,
and
that's
there's going to be a penalty there.
Yep.
It's going to be a fumble, and it's going to be recovered by the Warriors. So they're going to decline this penalty, and they're going to come up with the ball in Invaders territory. So two mistakes there on that play. Jameis Neal diving for that block, and he runs into the plant leg, which is the big deal.
You know, and the other thing with these turnovers is it's really hurting the maturation process of the offense, and that's
Yes, it
really
is.
what they need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we got to get our defense off the field to rest them.
They need to rest, absolutely. And I want to say that was once again Derek Alexander tried to field that punt, and that one looked like it. Oh, so they actually get the recovery and the penalty. I guess I thought that was one or the other.
That's why you're not an official.
I thought if they accepted the penalty, they'd get 15 yards and a first down. I didn't think they were going to.
So that's a double whammy there.
Yeah, that's even worse. So now all the way down inside the Invaders territory, running play now from Sims, and he's going to gain looks like a yard or two there. So it's 1st and 10 from the 32 after the muffed punt and the running into the kicker. So they get 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8 from the Fargo Invaders 30-yard line. I mean, this first half has basically been, in a sense, it's been the Fargo Invaders defense versus this Warriors offense.
That's
Those
right.
are the two units that have been out there the most. The Invaders offense has gotten a few bits and pieces here and there, but they have not been able to put together and sustain a drive whatsoever. And then it's been the Warriors just kind of taking their chances downfield, and they've gotten a couple of them. One that set them up for a field goal to get the first points of the game. The last one to Mo Strong to get the touchdown. So 9-0 is your score. Minneapolis leading Fargo. Johnson with 4 wide receivers and Isaiah Sims next to him. Going to hand this one off to Sims once again. He's going to break a tackle and head back towards the middle. And he's going to get down just about to the 25. I think it's the 26-yard line. So that's another gain of 4. So it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Warriors, which I would assume that they're going to be in 4-down territory at this point, this portion of the field. Unless they are comfortable with John Ostertag trying not a real long field goal, because our extra points are from the 15 now. So it's not really outside of that range if they don't gain anything here, but.
Well, it's 12 yards further than that, right?
15-yard line. We're at the 26. So third down for the Warriors. Johnson, quick pass across the middle is tipped and going to be incomplete. I'm not sure who got a hand on that one. Somebody got a hand on that one for the Invaders. So that'll bring up fourth down. We'll see what the coaching staff wants to do for the Warriors, which I believe they do have a new coaching staff this year. Trying to find their maybe if I can find it, if I can get my iPad to work. So fourth and about 5 for the Warriors. 8:17 on the clock here. Second quarter. NEFL Week 2 for the Fargo Invaders. Johnson with that 4 wide receiver set, along with Sims in the backfield. And it looks like we've got a little bit of false start there. That looks like, based on the reaction, that was Will McKinney on the false start. So fourth down and 10 now. And Javante Johnson's going to look to his coaching staff, see what they want to do. They have co-head coaches this year, Franco. Anthony Allen is the co-head coach and offensive coordinator. The other co-head coach is Michael Johnson, which a couple years ago they had Willie Brown was their head coach. He's a high school coach with Robinson Coopersdale or whatever that high school is. I keep forgetting their name. So fourth and 10. Javante back to pass. Pump fake's going to throw this one deep. He's got a man caught once again for the touchdown. That time it's the number 19, Cromie. Beat his man. That was Linnell Powers out on the coverage.
And Derek just couldn't get over there. He recognized it.
Yep. So just like that, 15-0 is your score here in the second quarter. And so just kind of like we said, the Minneapolis Warriors offense making plays where the Fargo Invaders offense cannot make those plays. And the defense has done enough at times to keep the Invaders in this game.
I think so. And I think that's why it's so hard to, say Pioneers and Warriors going to the championship game. This is such a young team with lots of question marks. And if you remember in 19, they weren't projected to go to the championship game either.
No, they were 2-4 in league season. They were 6-4 overall. Had to go on the road to St. Paul, come from behind, win there, and then they went down to Sioux City and won their first ever NEFL championship. Johnson for the 2-point conversion is going to throw this one out once again to Cromie, who goes up and gets it over the top of Powers.
And really just using that height advantage.
They are zeroing in on their mismatches really nicely there.
And that's smart.
That's smart. That's smart football. They're finding where they have the size mismatch. That on that time by Powers, they've targeted a similar situation with Travis Williams, and they're just beating the Invaders secondary in that one spot. They're just doing it to the outside one-on-one matchups. They're not doing any kind of crossing patterns that are causing problems for the Invaders. It's these one-on-one kind of jump ball matchups to the outside.
Just keep it simple.
And so with 8:09 on the clock here in the second quarter, your score, Minneapolis 17, Fargo nothing. Moorhead Massage and Wellness, it's their mission to work with folks who are on a healing journey and want to stay on track with their balanced life. They also want those who are financially strapped to have access to the care they need. Because of this, they offer a different kind of pricing scale. So for therapeutic massage, intuitive massage, access bars, energetic balancing, I said that wrong, positional release, contact our friends at Moorhead Massage and Wellness and ask for Franco, in case you weren't aware of that. One more read before we kick off. North Fargo's Health Source. Your Health Source of North Fargo, which is always tough for me to say. Care team is ready to show you what great chiropractic care can do for you and your family. They use a combination of chiropractic techniques, progressive rehabilitation, and other therapies to meet your unique health needs. Discover why hundreds of people in North Fargo come to them for safe, effective pain relief and overall wellness. That is North Fargo's Health Source. So once again, we have Constant Jackson and Jermaine Armstrong back deep to return this one. Halfway through this second quarter, 8:09 on the clock. Invaders really need something to get going their way. I think that defense is probably getting a little bit gassed out there.
I think that's true.
Especially with the effort that defensive line has been putting on out there to get after Javante Johnson. Ostertag end over and kick coming to Constant Jackson. And he muffs that return as well, but he's going to jump on it, and he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line.
And I think they're all just really trying to make a play. You know,
They are, but, you know, it's kind of one of those old sayings, just do your job. If your job is to catch the kickoff, then just simply catch it. Don't try and take it to the house, because before you can do that, you need to make the catch on the return. You know what I mean? So one step at a time. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders at the 30-yard line to start this next drive. 8:05 on the clock. Javonte Johnson tonight showing why he's been the offensive MVP in this league and how important it is to have good quarterback play in this league. So Dev Alger continuing to play quarterback for the Invaders. I think Jameis Neal III will get a chance shortly. Short pass to John Bonney. He's got 3 defenders there. Tries to plow through 3 of them. He gains all the way out to, I believe, the 38-yard line, maybe the 39 even. So nice play there. And I would, in a sense, Franco, I'd like to see more of that. Just take what the defense gives you. If John Bonney can sit down at 5 to 7 yards on a route and get that and get 8, 9 yards of play, then go to that until they take that away from you.
and if they take that away from you, then something else is going to open up.
Absolutely. So they've continued to go with this 3 wide receiver set with the tight end in to either help block on that side. Dev Alger is going to throw this one deep to the outside and overthrows Nate Soto there. So incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Invaders. 3rd and 1. And I don't have a problem taking shots down the field like that, but it doesn't seem like there's a communication or a connection between the quarterback and wide receiver there like they're expecting it. It's just kind of he's chucking it out, and the receiver has no idea that the ball's on his way. So 3rd and 1. Invaders trying to keep this drive going, give the defense a chance to rest. Only 1 safety deep this time for the Warriors. Brandon Jones is going to run this ball, is going to get out, and they're going to spot him to the 40, and the referees come out and mark it. It's going to be a 1st down for the Invaders. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders. So they're able to keep the ball and keep this drive going. Let's see if they can get some continuity here on offense. So they have 1 pass to Bonnie, 1 deep attempt, and then a running play for the 1st down. So, you know, like I said, don't try and reinvent the wheel. Just try and stay with what works. Alger looks over the defense. Clock running with 6.5 minutes to go in the 1st half. Alger, hands off. And Brandon Jones is going to be tried to make a move and got tripped up and tackled in the backfield. So that's going to be a loss on the play of about 3. So it'll be 2nd and 13 for the Invaders.
It's turned into a real nice night here. It was overcast and kind of threatening some rain, but it's cleared up a little bit. But it is feeling like a fall night, getting cooler as the sun goes down.
Yes, it is. I think if my watch is updated, it's 55 right now and pretty calm. No winds. We had a little more wind last week in Moorhead. Next Fargo Invaders game will be at home against the Twin Cities SaberCats on May 22nd, 6 p.m. kickoff. For those of you in the Fargo-Moorhead area, come out and join us for Fargo Invaders football. Alger with some time is going to throw this one across bound. Throws it too high. And Constant Jackson takes a big hit on an incomplete pass. And that, like you said, that goes back to that chemistry between the receivers and the quarterback. And, you know, I give all the guys credit for coming all the way up and playing with the Fargo Invaders. But, you know, when you have midweek practices and you live 4 hours away, you can't make a practice like that unless you're taking off work. So there's some, like you said, there's some chemistry issues with the receiving core and these quarterbacks because there's not enough time to really put in some quality work together to kind of get on that same page. So 3rd and 13 now, 5:35 on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Warriors back off. Look like they're going to play coverage on this play. Alger with some time under pressure. Going to throw the screen, and it's picked off. Going to run down the field. Is going to be taken down from behind. That was picked off by number 8. That's Aaron Berg. Just stuck that big paw up there and intercepted that one, setting the Warriors up in great field position. And the Invaders' struggles on offense continue. Third turnover of the night, and we're still in the first half. So 5:26 on the clock, 17-0 is your score. First down for the Warriors inside the 10-yard line again. So they're threatening to put more points on the board here in the second quarter. So Johnson leads this offense back on the field. Four wide receivers set. Going to hand this one off to Tyrell Martins. Try to get some room on the outside. He's going to be taken down at about the 5-yard line. So 2nd and goal from the 5. And I believe that the game in Wilton, North Dakota is final. And the final out there is 26-6. The Twin Cities SaberCats get their first win of the season, dropping the Bismarck Wolves down to 0-2 on the year. So 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line for the Warriors. Johnson, quick pass, swings it out to Mahmoud, and he's close, but it looks like that is Jermaine Armstrong on the tackle. And they mark him down at the 1-yard line, so a gain of 3 on that play. So 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
That was a nice play to get off the block.
It was a nice quick pass on that kind of swing route there. I don't know if he ran a swing pattern out of the backfield or if that was just a bubble route there. So the big backfield back in with McClendon and now Tyrell Martin next to him. They're going to fake it, and it's going to be caught by Mo Strong, who takes it away that time. It looks like from Quinn Redmond. And so that makes the score 23-0 in favor of the Minneapolis Warriors. Another defensive play where the defender was there. Almost made him drop that ball, but he was able to catch it for his 2nd touchdown of the evening. So just a nice slant pattern there. Nice throw by Javante, finding his wide receiver in a good position, had position there. Do we have heat in here?
Let's just.
Well, we got heaters along the bottom, so yeah, they're on.
The heaters are on? That's fantastic.
I
knew I smelled something.
I did too. Well, you didn't smell that. You didn't smell what the rock was cooking either. So Ostertag for the extra point. Snap set and the kick is up. This one looks better than the last one, and it is good.
I just don't know what to say.
You never do. So with 4:02 remaining in the first half, your score, Minneapolis 24, Fargo nothing. So the defense, you can only force the Warriors off the field without giving up points so many times when you start the possession inside your own 10-yard line. You know, I mean, you're not setting your defense up for a good possession. I mean, if the Warriors would have started the ball inside their own 10-yard line, and then things got started, you have a better chance defensively to kind of force a punch or something. But when it's 1st and goal at the 9-yard line to start the drive, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, that's not setting yourself up for success.
Let's also remember that we have 2 of our better cornerbacks who are not able to make it: Vince Holmes and Jordan Perkins.
Oh, and Joey Eggert's out too.
Joey Eggert's out with a knee.
Yep. So you've got some younger guys playing, and all the credit to the Warriors. They're finding those matchups and taking advantage of it. The Invaders need to find a way to, if they have those matchups, to be able to get pressure on the quarterback on those plays.
Elijah, you must be on the P unit. You're just a Fargo Invader hater. It's cool.
Why? What did he say now?
It's cool. He's saying it's 40-0, which he might be right. I mean,
well, it's already 24-0 right now. So a little bit of a pooch kick. This time it's going to be taken by Jackson on the bounce. He's got some room. He's got the kicker to beat, and he gets taken down by Ostertag. But the Invaders will start this possession at the Minneapolis Warriors' 47-yard line. Constant needs to be able to get his foot in the ground and make a cut and head back the other direction.
You know, a lot has gone wrong on offense, but I think that there's also some things that have gone right, and I think that we have to really kind of focus on those, you know, in the next, because we have a bye week this next week.
Yep.
And hopefully we can improve upon that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, like I said, this is going to have to be a maturation process for this offense. And
and we do have it set up this year that we have a home and home with every team in the league. So, you know, you drop this game, you still get another chance at the Warriors at home. And entering the game right now is Jameis Neal III in at quarterback. He's going to hand this one off to Brandon Jones. Got no room in there, no blocking on that left side to try and get anything going. And he's going to run out of bounds and take a loss on that play. Looks like a 5-yard loss on that one. So 2nd and 15 coming up now for the for the Invaders. I'm choking on my own voice, I guess.
and yourself.
I know. I'm sure most people would prefer that I just hush.
There's no argument up in the box here.
I
so.
know. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having my back. 3:14 and counting here.
You carry the team, Jace.
I know. First possession of the game for Jameis Neal III. Under pressure, is going to roll back to his left, pointing downfield. And he gets it pass complete to John Bonney, who's down to the 40, fighting defenders. And that'll be a nice gain of about 10, maybe 11 on that play. It'll be third and short. About third and, I think, 3, maybe 4. So nice scramble there by Jameis Neal III to make something happen. And they'll set up with third and manageable. So trips to the right for Jameis Neal III. Pass over the middle, just did not get his feet set, had Sigmund open. And that'll bring up fourth down at the 40-yard line for the Invaders. And it looks like, I believe, the punting unit is coming out now. Halfway through the third period, Franco, Fargo Force leads Sioux City Musketeers 2-0 in a potential series clinching win. Oh, now I get a new read from you, Franco. Thank you.
There it is. 2:16 on the clock, 24-0 Warriors.
So Jameis Neal III back to punt this one away. Snap to him. Gets the kick away. High spiraling kick. It's going to hit and take an Invaders bounce. Going to be picked up by the return man. Travis Williams can't get it. It looks like there's a block in the back. No call. Another block in the back.
Flag.
Finally came in there. Another, that could be a late hit there on Felton Somerville that got hit. So that penalty, should be enforced from the spot of the foul, I believe. So that should be going backwards from the 14-yard line. So anything to give the Invaders a little bit of life here in the later stages of the second quarter. 2:04 on the clock, 24-0 your score in favor of the Minneapolis Warriors. Invaders struggling on offense tonight. So as we get set for the next possession, as they mark off the penalty. So blocking. So we had a block in the back and then a personal foul. So that technically should be both penalties, correct? Because one was after the ball, after the play, or not? Either way, it'll probably be half the distance. So now we've got him inside the 5. So if there's any time to see an Invaders force a turnover, and maybe even
get a rule book up here.
That I should probably go to referee meetings or something. I don't know. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the 4-yard line. Just a run play here to Sims. And he's going to be taken down. He's going to break a tackle, but Jameis Neal holds on, and he might penalty flag late. A little pushing and shoving and getting to know you type of messages here down.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chat back and forth. I think the officials are now trying to take control of the game a little bit more here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have preferred about a quarter ago if they had done that, but
A little bit.
and it's not just one side. Both
No.
sides are chirping.
So we'll see. So it's on the Invaders. So that's the 2-minute warning.
On the defense, it's a 2-minute warning again.
So personal foul on the defense. I didn't catch what happened there, Franco, but
I'm going to guess in sportsmen like taunting or,
yeah.
I mean, after every play, they've got something to say to each other.
Is this your wife on the stream as well?
Yes,
She likes listening to me.
she does. I wasn't going to say anything, but
Just asked
Not-
I asked for so little from you, Franco. So thank you, Crystal. She's got my back.
she does.
Wear Repair. Wear Repair is Fargo's newest and fastest growing repair store. Wear Repair is family owned and operated, and they care about your devices and want to make sure that you are a satisfied customer. They understand most of their customers are in a hurry and they value your time, so bring in your device and you'll often get same-day service with the best service in town. At Wear Repair, they do computer repair and phone repair. However, they do so much more. So check them out, Wear Repair. So 1st and 10 now for the Warriors all the way out at their own 23-yard line. Johnson back to pass, going to throw this one across the middle. And the pass is going to be caught and completed to Lakeem Johnson. Nice catch there as he probably felt the footsteps coming of the Invaders' defense, was able to hold on. Lakeem Johnson with a big gain all the way out to the 43-yard line. So that'll be 1st and 10 once again for the Warriors at the 43-yard line. Four wide receiver set once again for Johnson. Johnson with time in the pocket. Now he's going to roll to his right. Penalty flag comes in. Pass is caught by Mo Strong after he kind of went up, tipped it to himself. And that's enough for a first down, but there is a penalty.
That's going to come back. That's
I believe so.
Wallow got tackled.
Mm-hmm. So holding against the Warriors, that'll back them up 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20. A lot of work being done on in those trenches tonight on both sides of the ball. Like I said, this is one of those games, Franco, where if the Invaders' offense can pull their share of the load, then things will be a much different story. I mean, you give up 2 touchdowns after turnovers inside your own 10-yard line, and you really set yourself up behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
So 4 wide receivers set, 1st and 20 now for the Warriors. 1 minute to go in the first half. Johnson looking to pass. Going to throw this one deep once again, and he's got his man caught, and he's going to be taken down by Jermaine Armstrong. And that's to Cromie. Nicely done there. One-on-one matchup with Jermaine Armstrong. And the Warriors are going to take a timeout. And that should be their first taken timeout of the half. So that'll set them up inside the red zone, inside the 15-yard line. And another nice pass by Javonte Johnson. We want to thank another one of our sponsors, Thrivent Financial. At Thrivent, they believe money is a tool, not a goal. Driven by a higher purpose at their core, they are committed to providing financial advice, investments, insurance, banking, and generosity programs to help people make the most of all they've been given. At their heart, they are a membership-owned fraternal organization as well as a holistic financial services organization dedicated to serving the unique needs of their clients. They focus on their goals and priorities, guiding them towards financial choices that will help them live the life that they want to today and tomorrow. That's Thrivent Financial. Got that?
I got it. Very nice.
So once again, the Invaders' defense is victimized by a big play of the Warriors' offense. And you knew that with a minute remaining in the first half that Johnson and that Warriors' offense were going to try and take a shot down the field.
Yep.
Got the matchup that they wanted and were able to connect. And now they're threatening to score. And, I mean, if this game wasn't already blown wide open, a score before the half could really ice that. So a run up the middle by Sims. He gains about a yard. Clock continues to run. So
We're
second
run
and
another
9.
play, and then they'll call timeout. I think.
They should, but I do believe they've got 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Johnson with 4 wide receivers. Going back, looking to pass. Across the middle this time. Pass is incomplete. No penalty flagged anywhere. It looked like at one point Johnson was looking for a penalty in the backfield, and then they were trying to get that penalty on the safety back there in the end zone, but no call. So that brings up 3rd and 9 now.
3rd and 9.
So 3rd and 9 now for the Warriors. Here's the question: if they don't convert on a first down here, Franco, what are they going to do? Are they going to try and take 3 with Ostertag, or are they going to try and take another shot at the end zone?
I think they're going to take another shot. I mean, why not? I mean, it's 24-0. Why not?
Mm-hmm. So 4 wide receiver set once again for the Warriors. Johnson, pressure off the edge by Miller, gets it to Sims, and he's going to be taken down.
And they got to call timeout here.
They're going to use the timeout with 7 seconds remaining. And I believe there would have been a loss on that play there. So 4th down. And it's hard to see from this angle.
It's like 6 or 7.
6 or 7, I think. I do see Ostertag on the field. This is closer than an extra point, so they're going to try and take 3 here and go into the half up 27-0. So with the timeout, obviously it looks like the Invaders, some of the defenders are getting some water, talking strategy, etc. So not the first half we had hoped for, Mr. Franco.
No, but like I said, I mean, defense looks great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's only so much you can do. At 24 points isn't all on them.
Yep. So Ostertag out once again to try for his second field goal of the evening. Snap, the set, and the kick is up. And it's good. So and they're going to run the clock out. Field goal was through the uprights about 3 seconds ago, but who am I to
Well,
judge?
the clock has got a little glitch thing going on. Some gremlins in the clock, so, you know.
So the kick is good. That makes your score at the half 27-0. At the half, your Minneapolis Warriors leading the Fargo Invaders. Too many turnovers in the first half. 3 first-half turnovers by the Invaders. Really not helping the cause. So do you want me to do stats first?
Why don't we take a break, and then we'll come back a few minutes early.
That would be great.
We will see you in just a few minutes, guys. And we're live.
Back at Woodbury High School, home of the Woodbury Royals, your score at the half, 27-0 in favor of the Minneapolis Warriors over the Fargo Invaders. Statistics from the first half all lean heavily in favor of the Minneapolis Warriors. So we'll start with them. Javonte Johnson's 13 of 25, 25 attempts so far in the first half, 229 yards, 3 touchdowns, quarterback rating of 123.2. Rushing has been minimal for the Warriors. Isaiah Sims, 6 carries, 12 yards. Ernest LeMay, 1 carry, 1 yard. Tyrell Martin, 2 carries for 5 yards. Receiving for the Warriors, they are led by Mo Strong, who's got 5 catches for 52 yards and 2 scores. Also, 3 catches and 93 yards and a touchdown for number 19, Nathan Cromie. And they've also got catches by Isaiah Sims, Lakeem Johnson, Tyrell Martin, Riza Mahmoud, and William McKinney. So that's what leads their team. For the Invaders, much different story. Dev Alger got the start today. He finishes the first half 5 of 14 for 44 yards and 2 interceptions, a 5.4 quarterback rating. Jameis Neal III got in late in the second quarter, and he went 1 of 2 for 11 yards. Brandon Jones is the only player with rushing attempts for the Invaders. He finished the first half with 9 attempts for 6 yards. It unfortunately did have that fumble as well. Fargo receivers, we've got Brandon Jones with 1 catch for 4 yards, and John Bonney basically making up the entire bit of offense, 5 catches, 51 yards in the first half. For the Warriors defense, I wanted to point out who had those interceptions. Aaron Berg had an interception. Tevis Wilson had an interception. And I don't recall who recovered the fumble for the Warriors. But your score 27-0 at the end of the first half, and the Warriors set to kick this one away to the Invaders to get things going in the second half with Jermaine Armstrong and Constant Jackson back to return this one. So need to see any kind of signs of life by the Invaders to try and get back into this game. Just because at 27-0 at the half, it's obviously not looking good in any way, shape, or form. So kickoff deep. It's going to be picked up by Constant Jackson, who's going to return this one, make a cut, and get back outside the 25-yard line to start this next drive.
So what I'm looking for in this half is just for them to not turn the ball over.
Yes.
You know, if bring a little bit more cohesiveness to this team, to this offense. You know, it's 27-0. I know that anything can happen, but it's not looking good for an Invaders win tonight. So let's use this, get some camaraderie going on this offensive line. Figure out
what you want to become on this offense.
That's right. I guess that's the identity. That's the word I was looking for. Figure out the identity and use the rest of this game for that.
And most of the time from when we've seen semi-pro football, Franco, in our career of covering it, as there's a snap and a handoff to Brandon Jones with nowhere to go, a hole opens up for Brandon Jones, but it's quickly filled by 3 different Minneapolis Warriors, so nowhere to go for Brandon Jones.
That delayed handoff is just not working the way it's designed, and that's part of that is they have not been able to do anything in the passing game.
Mm-hmm. But when we've seen semi-pro football, the consistent thing that we've seen offensively from semi-pro teams over the years has almost been every single team we've covered. It's been 3, 4, and 5 wide receiver sets and trying to throw the ball all over the place, spread defenses out. And to get a running game would be so helpful for any NFL team as Jameis Neal scrambles, throws a pass down the field, caught by John Bonney.
Nice communication there.
Dice pointing downfield, and he's going to be all the way out to the 47-yard line and see if they'll mark him at the 48, but that's enough for an Invaders first down. So a nice awareness there by Jameis Neal III, Trey Jameis, buying time in the pocket, communicating with the receiver down the field, getting it to John Bonney for a big completion there. So, I mean, I would like to see the threat of John Bonney hopefully open things up for Soto and Constant Jackson on the other side as well. Another handoff to Jones, a counter play. And he's going to bounce it to the outside and try and turn the corner. He's going to hurdle up and out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds at. Nice height on that jump by Brandon Jones.
That was a lot of effort for a yard.
They're going to give him, it looks like, about three
Three.
on that play. So that'll be 2nd and 7 for the Invaders. But that counter play, they're trying to get that going. You're trying to almost trick the defense into going one way, coming back the other. But he had to do a lot of work and probably ran 10 to 15 yards just to get 3. But I do like the commitment to keep that running threat.
I've been saying it for years. I love it.
So they're usually fairly balanced when it comes to the run and pass ratio. So 2nd and 7 for the Invaders. Blitz coming. Jameis Neal III is going to throw this one deep. He's going to throw this one out to Constant Jackson.
Oh.
Cannot connect on that one. Covered that time by number 13, Warren Joyner Jr. on the coverage. Another penalty flag finally comes in. We've got our offensive lineman not happy with something. That was a JB out there. Forget his last name sometimes. JB Lipscomb. So we'll see what the penalty flag is.
Third down.
And did I not see a penalty flag?
I don't know.
It doesn't look like they marked anything off against either.
I didn't see a flag, but
I thought I saw a flag being thrown. Maybe I saw something else being tossed in the air. My bad. So 3rd and 7 for the Invaders. 4 wide receivers set. Pressure come from the outside. Jameis Neal III gets the pass off. Caught to Soto's got some room across the middle and gets it inside the 30-yard line. Finally, Soto with his first catch of the evening.
that's one of the things that I'm really impressed with him is his yards after the catch.
And we have a player down right now. Hopefully it's nothing serious. I don't know if he got hit by his teammate there. Looked like it was collision with his teammate. And he is still down on the field.
Well, we're going to cut to a commercial here.
Hey, little voodoo child, you got me running wild. You make me feel alive. Ooh, I feel your heart and soul, perfectly in control. Put up and count in your spare now. So lay it on me, child. You know you drive me wild. You got me feeling like
Stressed about your day? Don't be. Find your relaxation at Moorhead Massage and Wellness Center. For more information, go to moorheadmassage.com. Schedule your appointment today.
So as the injured player walks off, I believe that's Tevis Wilson. Now he's running off, so it must not have been too serious. Tevis Wilson with the interception this evening. So as we get things situated to get back to play, Intrepitech. Intrepitech was founded to make technology less daunting, so they do this by promoting strong relationships, being your technical experts, and promoting a positive environment for their employees. They keep IT simple so you can do what you do best. They're so confident you will want to keep working with them that they don't lock you in a long-term contract. By going month to month, they want to keep earning your trust every month. That's Intrepitech. So after the big play to Nate Soto, that gives the Invaders a first down at the, I believe, the 28. 2-yard line of the Minneapolis Warriors. Invaders really need to keep this drive going. Jameis Neal III has sparked the offense a little bit after coming in at the end of the second quarter. Brandon Jones in the backfield with him, 4 wide receiver set. Neal under pressure, going to throw this one out there. Penalty flag comes in. Maybe we've got a holding.
Defensive holding, maybe?
Yep. In the area of John Bonney. So my guess would be is that we're going to get at least a 5-yard penalty and another first down.
Yeah.
Looks as though number 11, Lakeem Good, is not in favor of that call. Then again, I don't know if there's ever really been a time you've seen a player agree with a penalty or a foul or a red card.
It's very rare.
Yellow card filed against you.
It's very rare.
Although occasionally you see in hockey, you see someone just going, yeah, I did that, and they skate off. I mean, occasionally. So first down and 10 at the 24 is what I heard on the PA. Jameis Neal is going to hand this one to Brandon Jones, going to try and fight his way through the middle. And he's only going to gain.
It's a couple.
Is it a couple? Yard or two there.
Maybe.
And I just want to congratulate our fellow Fargo team. The Fargo Force have completed a 2-game sweep over the Sioux City Musketeers, 3-0, winning on home ice tonight. And they advance to their 5th Calder Cup Championship Series to be played against either Chicago or Muskegon, depending on who wins that series. So hopefully the home games in Fargo work out. So it's
Is
next
that
weekend.
game tonight too? We'll find out.
It started out at 6. I don't know. The Chicago Muskegon one, I'll have to check in a minute.
Okay.
That's what you meant. I'm sorry.
That's what I meant.
So secondly, looks like they marked it for no gain. 2nd and 10. 4 wide receiver set for Jameis Neal III. He's going to throw this one off his back foot, and it's going to be caught. And it's out of bounds at about the 2-yard line, and that is John Bonney, I believe. Nicely done there. So first and goal for the Invaders. Jameis Neal just throws that one up, and John Bonney does what he does.
Comes down with it.
He goes up and gets it. So now we'll see if the Invaders come out with their heavy personnel as they got first and goal at the 1. So 4 cracks to get in the end zone here for the Invaders. And quite honestly, I don't want to see them do anything but go to the heavy package and just try and run it. So Clyde Bryant comes in at fullback right next to Jameis Neal III. Brandon Jones, the deep back. Handoff to Jones. Nowhere to go. He's going to try and bounce it to the outside. He's going backwards. Stiff arm. And he's going to be tossed down by the jersey at all the way back at the – they'll mark his forward progress done at about the 8. I mean, I like the idea. Brandon,
I do too.
Brandon is always going to try and make something happen. Saw that there was some green grass out to the outside, but just didn't have the block.
He hesitated just a little bit. It looked like there's something that opened up, and then it closed real quickly. But
it's one of those things where you look back, hindsight is 20/20.
Exactly.
You see that, and you're like, maybe you should have just tried to hit it up on the inside. And if there's nothing there, then just that there's nothing. To stay within that yard or two of the goal line, you bounce it out to the outside, you go backwards all the way to the 7-yard line. So a loss of
this
6.
might be a blessing in disguise, though, because now we can
never
open it up a little bit and throw a pass.
So 2nd and goal for the Invaders at the 7. Pump fake. He's going to throw this one to the corner. Pass is caught. Touchdown, Fargo. You betcha. Pass completed to the outside. That is Nate Soto for the touchdown. The big 6'5" wide receiver, just like the Warriors were doing, found the mismatch. And, Soto's kind of a mismatch with everybody based on his size.
And arm length and yards after catchability.
Wingspan is what it's called. Wingspan.
Wingspan.
So 27-6 with 9.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Fargo finally on the board. They will go for 2 points, trailing 27-6. And they'll go with the 2 big receivers to the right. You've got Constant Jackson and Marcus Sigmund to the left. One-on-one matchups, it looks like across the board. He's going to throw this one out, in and out of the hands of Sigmund. Tried to get that one to him.
Just a little off the mark.
Yeah.
But, really what a great offensive series to come out, march down the field. I know they got helped by a big penalty, but there's a big play in there. It's going to give some confidence to the offense as it's a maturation process where they're just going to have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps the defense on the sideline, getting some rest, and it's going to give them a little boost. Let's see what the defense can do. Maybe they can pin them back and create a quick turnover and downs. Get the offense right back out there.
And that route was run the right way by the receiver on that 2-point conversion attempt. The pass needed to be a little bit farther out in front of the receiver because there was not enough separation between the receiver and the defensive back. So that's a good read by the quarterback because obviously you're thinking in that goal line type of situation on the 2-point conversion, you're going to try and hit up Nate Soto or John Bonney on a jump ball or a slant. So to try and hit that little arrow route off of the slot receiver and try to get it quickly in for 2, that's something that's, it's difficult to execute, and you just need more repetitions with it. So
we've got a commenter, one of our viewers is commenting, and I'm wondering if he's referring to the receiver getting held on the play. He said 13 got snagged. So I'm not really sure of what he's referring to there.
I think he's talking about Warren Joyner. That's number 13 for the defense. We don't have a number 13 that's on the offense right now. He's a quarterback. Quinn Redmond with the kick. Drives it deep inside the 10, and they're going to let it go out of bounds. Oh, there's part of me that almost hates that because that was a good kick.
That wasn't a bad kick.
That was well placed. That wasn't a kick that was mishit and goes out of bounds. That's the type of situation where it's almost like if you drop it within the 10 or the 15-yard line, that should be a ball that if it goes out of bounds, it goes out of bounds there. That one shouldn't be a penalty.
No.
If you kick
it's
it out
it's not a punt.
I know. If you kick it out of bounds between the 40 and the 20, then I could see it, need to go out to the 40. But doggone, that was placed pretty nicely. Kind of, it was one of those plays where the Warriors the deep man couldn't get to it. The up man was over his head. So
I see the flag moving a little bit more, so maybe the wind took it. Let's just blame it on the wind.
So the Warriors start their first possession of the second half now with 9:30 on the clock, leading 27-6. Invaders defense needs to step up and get the ball back to the offense. So looks like a 4 wide receiver set for the Warriors. Johnson set to take the snap. Pitch play to Sims, and he's going to be taken down to the backfield. Nicely done by Jermaine Armstrong. And that's going to be a loss of 5 on the play. So the defense needs to keep stringing these type of plays together, tackles for losses, and then if they do give up something minimal. Keep everybody in front of you. And don't give up the big play because the big play is really what killed them in the first half. So.
Absolutely. And really, outside of the big play, I would like to see the stats, but I'm not been that impressed with the Warriors' offense. They've had big plays. They've moved them down the field. Take those away, I'd be curious how many yards they have.
Yeah. So 2nd and 15 for the Warriors. Johnson getting ready to take the snap once again. Takes the snap, has time, rolls to his right. He's going to dump it off to Tyrell Martin, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds by Jameis Neal II. Or I guess that's technically Jameis Neal Jr., correct? And I just see a social media post. The Chicago Steel are going to the Clark Cup Finals. They have been the best team in the USHL this season. They've only lost 11 games in regulation all season, and they will take on the Fargo Force. I would assume Game 1 will be in their home arena, although I don't know if they're actually in Chicago. They're probably in a suburb of Chicago. I'm not familiar with all those. So 3rd and about 6 for the Warriors here. Invaders defense wants to get off the field and force a punt here. Snap to Johnson's got some time. He's going to throw it out. Catches it is Strong, I believe, right at the 50. And seeing where they mark it, should be, and they're going to give him the first down. Ah, man. I realize they don't have the things on the chains to mark them and go measure it, but.
Well, where's the little yellow line for reference?
I don't know. That's your department.
Oh, is it my department?
You're the
okay.
tech guy.
All right.
I'm the
I'll
talkie
work
guy.
on that.
So a good spot and a good pitch and catch by the Warriors gets them a first down. Keeps the ball in their possession with another fresh set of 4 downs. Johnson's going to hand this one off to Martin. He struggles to find anywhere to go. He's going to gain a couple, though. Run defense is, as usual, it's been solid for the Invaders. I mean, just like I said, going back to what I said earlier, based on what semi-pro football has been over the years, you don't usually see teams that are really dominant on the run. I mean, we saw a little bit of it a few years ago with the Sioux City Stampede with their two-headed monster of Tyrell Martin. I think it was, L.J. Johnson or T.J. Johnson? Johnson and Martin, right, I believe. And then their quarterback, Dorian Ballantyne. And those three gentlemen combined, they had quite a rushing attack that just kind of wore teams down. So 2nd and 8 for the Warriors inside Invader territory at the 48-yard line. Johnson back to pass. Pump fake's going to throw this one deep once again. It's got a man, overthrows his receiver. That pass was intended for Will McKinney. He had him on that side. It looked like it was Quinn Redmond. And I don't know if they were back in a zone defense there. But he threw that one out deep. And Redmond and Alexander were the only two guys back there. So if they're running a type of zone defense there where Gatt has got an area and he passes them off to the safety, well, he had a step obviously on the safety, but with that arm that Javonte Johnson has, he overthrows his receiver and brings up 3rd and 8 now for the Warriors. Blitz off the edge by Jameis Neal. Under pressure now is Javonte Johnson. He's going to throw it to no one.
That should be intentional.
And that's
grounding.
didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage.
There it is. Yep.
There it is.
Head referee threw the flag.
Under heavy pressure, Jameis Neal comes off the edge on the blitz, joined then in the backfield by, I believe that was Wallow, and Anthony Antonio chasing him down. He just throws that one away. It got back to about the 49 or 50-yard line, but that's going to be intentional grounding. That'll be obviously loss of down and spot foul, so that'll be back to about the 35-yard line. So that'll make it 4th and 25, I believe. And so they'll bring out Ostertag to punt this one away.
So it wasn't as quick of a turnover and downs as what I was hoping to get, but we're going to get some good field position out of this.
That's assuming that we catch the punt.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
Josh Gatlining is back deep. Derek Alexander is kind of an up man on this. All I'm asking for on this play is just receive the punt and don't lose it. Don't lose the ball. If there's anything positive out of the return, well, then all the better. So 6:13 on your clock here in the third quarter. 27-6 is your score as Minneapolis leads Fargo. Ostertag back to punt this one away. Gets the snap. Gets it away.
Short punt.
Short punt. It's going to take an Invaders bounce, and they're going to down it at the 45-yard line. So not a good punt there, and based after the intentional grounding penalty and not his best punt of the evening, Invaders are set up with good field position. They're going to mark it at the 47-yard line.
Yep.
So think about that. They had 3rd down and 8, I believe, at the 48-yard line, and then after a penalty and the bad punt, we're at the 47. So
that's right. So that's a good defensive series.
Yes. So it's another good opportunity now for the offense to try and keep this momentum. Trips to the far side this time. Sigmund, Bonnie, and Soto up top. Consta Jackson one-on-one down low. Brandon Jones in the backfield with Jameis Neal III, who took over at quarterback in the second quarter. Has some time, gets some blocking. He's going to have to run. He's going to run right into a defender for the sack.
That's not what I was hoping for.
No, he escaped the pressure that was coming off his weak side there, his blind side. Nice pickup there by Brandon Jones to try and give him some extra time. But that flushed him out and then right into the arms of 2 waiting defenders. So instead of rolling to his right, if he could have stepped up in the pocket straight ahead, then that may have given him a little bit more time.
Or even into the pressure from this side because there wasn't anybody else there. And that's something that we haven't seen from him yet is the ability to tuck it away and run with it. So as he builds confidence, maybe we can see a little bit of that because he has the ability, it looks like.
Oh, he definitely has the ability to run. He had a fantastic run against Rapid City. Little draw handoff to Brandon Jones trying to get to the outside, and spins, and is going to gain a few, get a couple of those lost yardage back. So it was 2nd and 16. He'll get back to the 44-yard line, it looks like. So only a gain of 3. It looked a little bit better from up here. So that'll bring up 3rd and about 13 here for the Invaders. Yeah, on that sack, Franco, if he could have stepped to his left, but he had his back completely to that rusher, and if he could have seen that he could step to his left, who knows, maybe he could have even run the ball to the left.
I think he did because there's nobody there because everybody was on either goes or deep routes.
Joshua Vaughn coming off. Looks like he's probably cramping. I'm hoping it's a cramp and not a hamstring issue, because hamstring issues, I don't know about you, but those things take a long time to heal.
They're rough.
So as he hobbles off, slight stoppage in play. Now the Invaders are ready for their 3rd down attempt at 3rd and 13. So 4 wide receivers set once again. Jameis Neal III is going to have to throw this one out quickly. He's looking for Constance Jackson. He's got to turn back and look. And pass is incomplete. And there's not going to be any penalty or anything on that one, as they had 2 defenders covering Constance Jackson.
But you know what was good to see? He threw it underneath him. Gave him the and that was one of the first times this year you've been able to see a quarterback get him the ball where in play where he could have made the catch.
Yeah.
Great defense there by the Warriors.
Yeah. Nicely done by them to bring that safety over the top to contend with Constance Jackson.
You know, so the untrained eye test, it's looking like Jameis Neal is really feeling a little bit more comfortable behind the line than Alger.
Yes. And at times it looks like the arm strength is a little bit in
Is a little
favor
bit more.
of
That's right.
Jameis Neal III as well, as he gets ready to punt this one away. And he gets run into, and there's a penalty flag for that. And so this is going to probably at least come back for and he's going to return it to the house for 6, but this is not going to
be all for naught.
Yep. So I don't know if we're going to get running into the kicker or roughing the kicker. Either way, the Invaders will get another snap, because they're obviously not going to allow that play to stand. Unless you're a head coach trying to lose that job, but, that's not the case.
I'm pretty sure Coach Stitch is not interested in that.
No, and we had Coach Stitch on Flag Sports last Saturday, and it was interesting to know that this is his first head coaching job. He's been an offensive coordinator for 7 years. He's had some other roles on coaching staffs before, but this is his first head coaching job. As I've said, I've spoken highly of him in the past, where his play calling was really helped us over the top in that championship season.
Absolutely.
And he's done a fantastic job of putting together a really good staff for this.
A really impressive staff, really.
And so it was important to him. It was big to him to get that first win of his head coaching career last week against the Mindak Titans. So, and I guess they did call roughing the kicker, so it is a 15-yard automatic first down. So we have a stoppage.
It was like a timeout. Invaders.
I believe it's a timeout. Oh, man, I might have to – I might need to seek some counseling from my youngest, because I just received a picture, and she made a pizza at home, which looks good. It looks delicious, because we've got the pre-made crust, and she's learned how to make her own pizza. But unfortunately, the message attached is that she made a lovely fish stick pizza for tonight's dinner. I mean, it doesn't have tartar sauce on it. I think she used pizza sauce and cheese. She just used fish sticks instead of chicken nuggets or whatever on it. So, I mean, I taught her how to make her own barbecue chicken pizza at home, and this is the thanks I get.
I mean, she's got a little Italian, little anchovies on the pizza.
Yeah, just because your family's Italian, I mean, you don't need to, talk about making the meatballs and the sauce all the time. But
I'm good at it.
She's cooking, though, so there's that. So that's nice. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders after the timeout. Swing pass out to Soto. He's trying to make a man miss. And he's going to get almost 5 yards on that play. So nice job by Soto. And I think that timeout was taken by the Warriors, Franco.
Well, then I misspoke.
Yep. So that's the timeouts over there. So, yeah, they took a timeout. So 2nd and 5 now for the Invaders. Invaders offense having taken advantage of some penalties here and there, but they're making things happen now with Jameis Neal III in at quarterback. So we'll see what they dial up now on 2nd and 5 at the 35 of the Minneapolis Warriors. Pump fake's going to throw this one cross and caught by Constant Jackson. Nice catch by Constant, falling down, catching that. Reminded me of the Tyler Johnson catch by the Buccaneers against the Saints in the Superdome.
Who?
Tyler Johnson.
I'm kidding.
Of course, I'm questioning if that was his name now. The wide receiver from Minnesota. Had to adjust his body, but he's able to come up with a catch at the 26-yard line for a first down. 2:52 and counting in the third quarter. Invaders trailing the Minneapolis Warriors 27-6 right now. Jameis Neal III, this time with a little time, he's going to throw this one deep over the middle, and it's going to be picked off in the end zone. Tried to go there for Sean McConnell. And a big hit and
a flag.
And a flag. I'm not sure why that is called. He just went in for the tackle. I don't think it was initiated contact to the head or anything. So tried to force that one a little bit. And he comes up and makes
two flags on the field. There's one in the backfield, and then there's one where the point of contact. But that one from the point of contact came from a long way away.
Yeah, and looking at it.
Was it a block in the back, maybe?
I don't know, because I saw that, and he just went in for the tackle, and that's Thomas.
But I felt like the flag was in the air before he even made contact.
Possible. That is Thomas Case, a little slow to get up, but he looked like he was just making a tackle.
And also, legal block in the back, penalties decline.
The legal block in the back is declined. I missed what the referee was signaling, so I don't know what all of the penalties are.
I think this might be Invaders. Did he just say it's Invaders' ball?
Well, the offense is still on the field, and as Case comes off, and he's a bit wobbly, it looks to be. So, yes, it is still Invaders' ball.
13-yard line. Fargo.
So 1st and 10, I believe, for the Invaders. Oh, so we had a roughing the passer play, or a roughing the passer penalty on that play, which negates the interception, which is great news, and gives the Invaders a first down at the Minneapolis Warriors 13-yard line. So another penalty helps to continue this drive.
Keeping the Warriors offense on the sideline.
Which is the best way to slow them down, is to not let them
really
on the field.
Yep.
So Jameis Neal III with some time is going to throw this one to the end zone, to the corner, looking for John Bonney. Overthrows him just a bit. Had the right idea. I could see John Bonney headed for that back pylon there in the corner, but just a little bit too far. He might need to stretch John Bonney out a couple of extra 2-3 inches to come down with that one.
If that ball was a little bit better thrown, that could have been a pass interference.
That's what I was thinking. It was kind of looking that way, but he did not really get John Bonney. The ball was too high.
So it was an uncatchable ball.
He was playing the ball. But, yeah, there was a part of me for a second thought that might be what was going to happen. So 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard or 13-yard line, for the Invaders. Jameis Neal III back under pressure. Is going to have to just try and throw this one away. Had a man in the back of the end zone, but could not get the ball cleanly away. With the blitz coming at him,
too.
God, that's hard to say. He jumped when he threw it and just couldn't get enough on it.
Oomph.
But I mean, if he could have thrown that one to that back corner pylon, John Bonney was back.
He had a little bit of a step there.
Mm-hmm. So 3rd and 10 from the 13-yard line. The Invaders can get a first down. If they don't score a touchdown. So they've got enough room to do that, but they need to make something happen here. And Warriors looking like they're going to send the blitz once again. They're going to have a draw handoff, and Brandon Jones is going to go backwards.
And that's just inexperience with the quarterback. He's got to be able to see that and audible out of it, if he even has the audible there to go to.
Right, and
that play wasn't going to go anywhere.
No, I can't say for sure that we have some of the audibles in, but that is not.
I would even take a timeout and regroup.
Yeah, I would have taken a timeout there and called something else because you go backwards all the way back to the 21. So you're at 4th and 18 now, just outside of the red zone. I mean, I would have probably preferred to have just continued to look for Bonnie and Soto on that one side with the matchups and even let them catch it and try and run for a first down rather than try.
I guess I don't mind the play call. I just wish that there was a way to get out of that play.
James Neal III under pressure is going to
he thought he
ball's loose, and the Invaders are going to fall on it. So after all of that and getting multiple chances and it's setting up with a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line, they go backwards.
There's life in the offense here. And I think that's really what I was looking forward to seeing in this half is can there be some life after going down 27-0? Mm-hmm. And at this point, 6-0 this half. Fargo Invaders. That's not the whole score though.
So our friend and also offensive coordinator Fargo South, Nick Jackson, watching the game. He has his thoughts on the play of the quarterback. And you know what, Nick? Valid points. Then, I wouldn't be opposed to you coming to practice and kind of, working with the quarterbacks as well. Swing pass out to Sims, and he's taken down after a nice gain of about 7 on that play. Gets out past the 41 to almost the 42-yard line. So 104 and counting here in the third quarter. And if anything, if we get to the end of the quarter and the score is still 27-6, well then at least as a team you can look at it as a win for that quarter. You won the third quarter 6-0. And so that's a step in the right direction.
And that's the only point I'm trying to make. Yeah. There's a long road. It's a long season.
Just need to work on some things. Hand off this time to Sims on a little bit of misdirection there. Jermaine Armstrong tried to make the arm tackle, and then Sims is going to be pushed out of bounds inside Invader territory at the 47-yard line.
And that's what I think about when I think about Sims. The ability to put his hand in someone's face mask and just keep going.
Able to break that tackle of Jermaine Armstrong. Armstrong almost had him down to the backfield. Got to have those type of tackles against a player like Sims. Heck, against a player like Tyrell Martin. We haven't seen Martin getting a ton of work tonight. But you know what? Sims and Martin, that is a deadly running back combination for the Warriors. And that's the end of the third quarter, folks. 15 minutes left on the clock set for the fourth quarter. Your score, Minneapolis 27, Fargo 6.
Boy, I think I got Nick fired up in the car ride down here with my text because he's got lots to say. We got to get him here in the booth. We got another headset.
I know.
I mean, he could say things like with his mouth instead of his fingers.
Well, he could say it with his legs on the field too, but
that might be asking for a bit much. I don't know.
We'd like to thank Novelty Construction LLC, one of our newer sponsors as well. A returning sponsor, Dots Pretzels. Dot's Homestyle Pretzels are a special family snack created many years ago by Dot and her family kitchen. The first taste says it all. These pretzels are an addicting gourmet snack loved by many all over the country. You can find their delicious pretzels all over Fargo, Cashwise, Hornbachers, Shields, and Vintage Point. I'm not sure where that is. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. Most people are like, that doesn't explain anything about the way you talk. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the Invaders' 47-yard line to start the fourth quarter. Two backs in the backfield now for the Warriors trying to get their running game going to kind of work that clock as Tyrell Martin gets some work just as soon as I said I haven't seen him out there much. And he gets all the way down to about the 40-yard line for a gain of 7 yards. Your wife likes Nick too much to have him get hurt.
Nick is my daughter's favorite human on the planet. I mean, there's no question.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry.
Z, how could you?
Yeah, I mean, you're a close third. I'm second.
Well, the parents don't count.
Okay, that's true.
That's not fair. You can't count the parents.
No.
So 2nd and about 4 for the Warriors. 4 wide receivers set now. Johnson looking to pass. Pump fake's going to go the pattern. Oh, looking for Cromie. And Gat's trying to tell Quinn Redmond that you got to be ready for that.
Yep.
That's another, in a sense, tonight, Franco, we've seen there have been opportunities, especially in the pass defensive side of our game, that the Invaders had opportunities to make some of those plays.
Well, you know,
And the next step defensively, because we do have some new guys on the defense. The next step for the defense
safety
is
in
to make
particular is what I
is-
was just going to say. I mean, for a long time you had Steve Othello back there,
Yes.
who was just rock solid, and
we
then
had
Landon
Landon
Moline,
Moline.
who both of them are in Texas now.
Yep. But thanks for telling me you're leaving, Steve. But that's a whole other story. So hopefully he watches this later. So 3rd and about 3 at the 40-yard line for the Warriors. And that should end up being false start on the Warriors because the ball wasn't snapped when the receivers released. But I don't know. They're going to call it on the defense.
See, and they called it on the offense earlier in the game. So the consistency is really
Every single game this season, this is the game 3, I've seen there's a defense encroaches or it gets offside and then receivers are released before the ball is snapped. It's been on the offense.
It's Nick
And
Jackson's fault.
that happened this time, and they actually called it on the defense. So that gives them a first down. So, Nick tells me I didn't have a chance being Z's favorite human. So thanks, Nick. Hand off to Martin, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield for a loss of about a yard, it looks like. I guess I just need to bribe, what is she, 4 now? Is she 3? 4.
She's 4.
4. I need to bribe a 4-year-old to make her like me more than Nick.
That's a tall task. I mean, she loves you too.
I
but
know she does. Like I said, second favorite non-parental unit person. So 13:38 and counting. The Warriors, like I said, Franco, I really get the sense right now that they're just trying to work that running game and really work the clock because that is something that Fargo just does not have enough time with the way their offense has been inconsistent. So another handoff, this time to pump fake, pass intended for Strong. And it's incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd and long for them.
3rd and 11.
So 3rd and 11 for the Warriors. And just as soon as I'm thinking they're just going to keep running the ball, taking 2, 3, 4 yards a chunk and working that clock, getting one more score, trying to salt this thing away in the 4th quarter. Do a little play action fake and almost had the big play across the middle. But nice defense there by the Invaders to prevent that from happening. So we'll see if the Invaders can force a stop here. Although they're in that middle range, so it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do if it does become 4th down. 27-6 is your score. Minneapolis leads. 2 backs in the backfield this time with Johnson. Johnson with some time under pressure is going to throw it out and just outside the outreach hands. It looked like that was, I believe, Strong once again was the intended receiver. Nope, that was 84. That was McKinney. Try to get it to him, and it looks like I'm hearing the Warriors punt.
I think I would be inaccurate with the ball if I saw Wallow coming up the middle almost unblocked.
Well, and the vertical on that guy these days, my goodness. So another nice defensive stand overall by the Invaders. I mean, you don't allow the opponent to start inside the 10-yard line repeatedly, then they're able to do their job and, give up some yards, but then eventually force a punt. So as the last player on the special teams unit for Minneapolis runs out there, Ostertag back at the 50-yard line. Maybe as he takes a step in, he'll be at the Invaders' 49, trying to pin the Invaders deep. High snap. Blocked punt that time by Jermaine Armstrong, and he's going to recover it. Ball is still loose, and then they're going to blow it dead at where Jermaine had it. But a nice special teams play there, forcing a blocked punt. And that'll be Invaders' ball inside Warriors territory. That was a bit of a bad snap there. And I think Jermaine might not have even been really trying to fall on that ball. I think he was trying to hope that Jameis Neal would have been able to scoop and score. But did not happen. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders at the 43-yard line of the Warriors. So just little bits and pieces of life in the Invaders. But, starting the game down 27-0, I know what, a win here still, in a sense, seems unlikely with 13 minutes to go. Handoff to Jones, going to pick his way through that left side of the field, still going. He's going to be inside the 30-yard line, and that's enough for a Fargo Invaders first down. Nice run by Brandon Jones. But you know what? Stranger things have happened in football games. But
Absolutely.
I think the biggest thing, though, is to take the second half and continue to build on it going forward into the season.
And that's what I wanted coming into the second half. And I think we talked about it. And just we'll see what we got.
Yeah.
We got to grow with it.
So our 4 wide receiver set for the Invaders. Jameis Neal III back to pass. He's going to have to get this one, rid of this one. John Bonnie's going to come back to it, and he's going to catch it. Tries to break the tackle there. I think that was Warren Joyner Jr., along with number 9, Creston Tolbert out there. But when you throw that ball up in the air like that, John Bonnie is so good at body control to come back and go get that one. He makes the play, and once again, the Invaders are inside the red zone. It's just a matter of taking advantage of that play, just like last time they had 1st and 10 at the 13. You got to find ways to get in the end zone and take advantage of, when you get into scoring position. And I think we got the Warriors that time on the encroachment.
Yep.
So that's 5 more yards right there. Had almost, it felt like almost the entire defensive line jumping there. So 11:46 is your time on the clock. 27-6 is your score. Fargo inside the 10-yard line, I believe now. Jameis Neal going to throw this one up. Pass intended for John Bonnie.
Yes,
and there's the pass interference. Too early on the hit on the outside there.
I knew it was going to come at some point this evening.
And that is a penalty on number 13, I believe, was in coverage. Which is Warren Joyner Jr. Trying to make that big play on defense and tries to jump up and over John Bonnie, which that's not an easy task there.
No.
And so that's a penalty right there at the goal line. So even if it was in the end zone, it would still be 1st and goal at the 1. And I think number 71, I believe that might actually be Clyde Bryant wearing 71 because they need him to
Be on the line.
he's a jack of all trades, so he's normally a fullback, so I believe that's him based on the cleats. And so he had to come out and tell the referees that he's an eligible receiver on this play. Nate Soto.
That's a miscommunication.
Yep. Jameis Neal III thought he was doing that corner out again, and Nate Soto had him on the slant pattern, it looked like.
If Nick Jackson was here, that wouldn't have been a miscommunication.
Oh, Mr. Jackson. Yeah, he ran the slants, and Jameis looked as though he was going to go to the corner route. It's all right. Second and goal at the 1. 11:34 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. We'll see what they come up with this time. Same formation. That big heavy set personnel, 2 tight ends, a fullback, a running back, and 1 wide receiver out wide to the right.
Bad snap.
Bad snap for the Invaders. Brandon Jones tries to fall on it, and I believe Jameis Neal III did fall on it. And we haven't seen a bad snap all day until we had 2nd and goal.
Which
at
is
the
a
1.
huge improvement from last week. I mean, how many bad snaps?
I hate to say it, but yeah.
So, again, we're down 27-6, but I think that there are a lot of positives that you can look at the film tomorrow and the rest of the week until Wednesday's practice and really pick out a lot of good things that this team has done to improve upon what they did last week.
Yeah. But as we've said in the first half, it was turnovers on offense. Now we've got a loss of, I believe, 27 on that play or 28. And so 3rd and goal. And we'll see who they call this one
I think
on.
that's there to call in the offense. But I think that should be a defensive
Nope,
penalty.
it is a defensive penalty.
Did they?
Yep. Because the defense crossed the line of scrimmage and then made contact with the offensive player, so therefore it's automatically on the defense.
I feel like they did that in the first half, and they called on the offense. But
Yeah.
I'm not official. I'm just
Exactly.
a guy up here with a microphone on his face.
Who gave that to you anyway?
I don't know. I really shouldn't have it.
10:38, and I guess the clock is running on that one.
I mean, I'm a massage therapist. I'm not used to talking.
What? So 3rd and goal once again for the Invaders. Jameis Neal's going to throw this one
He got
over.
his arm hit.
Overthrows the receiver. It's going to go incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. I guess he got his arm hit on that throw?
Yeah, he did.
That's why it was a weird-looking throw there. As I watch the stream, since it's delayed a little bit here in the booth. Oh. So 4th and goal from the 22-yard line, I think. Not your normal setup for 4th and goal, but it is what it is. The referee is walking way over. I don't know what he's discussing because the play's getting ready to start. I guess the other question, too, is if we had instant replay and this was the NFL, did his arm get hit before? Did his arm come forward with an empty hand? So would it have been a fumble, per se? So trips to the left this time for Jameis Neal, the third. Takes the snap. He's going to look to throw this one. He's going to throw it out deep to the right, looking for John Bonney.
Touchdown.
Caught it! Touchdown, Fargo. You betcha.
Look at that.
When you need some yardage, who do you call? You call the quicker picker-upper, John Bonney. And that makes the score 27-12 in favor of the Minneapolis Warriors. And you know what? Especially from what I've seen with players like John Bonney, Nate Soto, Consta Jackson to an extent, these receivers can make a play on the ball for you. And so if you throw it up there, you can give yourself a chance to make a big play.
Right. And they, again, it's just about having that communication and having that familiarity with each other.
And quite honestly, I had a conversation with Jameis Neal III at practice on Wednesday, and I know he feels a more comfort level with Nate Soto because he's played a little bit more because John didn't play in game number 1. But I said just mirror that type of confidence in John Bonney on the other side. So Invaders going for 2 once again, trips to the left. Jameis Neal's going to bobble this snap, still loose, and he's going to be taken down.
They got to fall on it.
And they have to fall on it because you can score 2 points on a botched 2-point conversion or a blocked extra point kick. So with 10-12 to go in the game, the score remains 27-12, but baby steps. We've seen the Fargo Invaders improvements, Fargo Invaders offense improving against this Warriors defense, making some things happen and heading into the end zone a couple times now. So 10-12 to go, still a lot of time left. You would need, obviously, 2 more touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions to be successful. And another thing that will change in the near future, that our place kicker should be back and healthy and ready to attempt extra points and field goals for us.
Did you give the time? There's 10 minutes and 12 seconds left.
10-12.
Okay, we just had somebody asking.
Oh, yeah. Was it Bryce?
No, it was John.
Okay. Sorry, John. I thought I had mentioned it. But thanks for tuning in, John. I'm not sure where John is from. If you click on him, does it show? Nope, it doesn't show. So 10-12 in the fourth quarter, 27-12. Minneapolis leads Fargo here in NEFL Week 2. Finals from earlier today, the St. Paul Pioneers beat the Mindac Titans 45-0. Is that what it was? 45, right? Or was it 43?
It was 40-something.
I think it was 45 because it was 19-0, and all of a sudden it was 45-0. And then the Twin Cities SaberCats went all the way on the road to Wilton, North Dakota, home of the Bismarck Wolves, and they took care of business, winning 26-6. And that will be Fargo Invaders' next opponent in 2 weeks in Moorhead against the Twin Cities SaberCats, a familiar foe from the days back in the NSFL. As Quinn Redmond kicks this one off, taken by one of the upmen, which is Tyrell Martin, inside at about the 15. He's going to try and cut this one back across, being pushed and pulled, and he'll be down at about the 36-yard line. So Javante Johnson and the offense will come back on the field for their next possession. So if I look at the homepage of the Northern Elite Football League, which you can find at northernelitefootball.com, if it goes. Next weekend on the 15th, the Minneapolis Warriors travel all the way up to East Grand Forks to take on the Mindac Titans in a game up there that the Titans are desperate to get a win after dropping their first two to the Pioneers and the Invaders. And the SaberCats will travel, I guess it would be sort of across town, to take on the St. Paul Pioneers. So those are your only two NEFL games next weekend. The Wolves and the Invaders have bye weeks. Man in motion shifts to the other side. Javante Johnson's going to look to throw a slant pattern to Cromie on Josh Gatling. He's going to complete that out to the 46-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a first down, I believe. Gat is trying to talk with Quinn Redmond, his safety on his side, kind of get some better communication and
Coach him up a bit.
kind of what each player is expecting, you know, because I know Gat is a very accomplished and a very seasoned football player, so he needs to have that type of relationship with his safety, and he's obviously breaking in a new safety based on someone he's never played with. So first and 10 for the Warriors. Handoff up the middle to Sims, who runs into Wallow, and I would assume Anthony Antonio's on the other side of that pile as well. And so he'll gain a couple out to their 48-yard line, I believe.
48-yard line.
Cornelius Wallow. I don't even know. What was that video a couple years ago? Didn't he bench like 500 pounds or something crazy? 450 or I don't know what it was.
I remember the video, but I don't remember what the weight on the bar was.
He can bench press more than I can leg press. Although my leg press is getting better these days.
That's good.
Just want to throw
I'm
that out
sure
there.
everybody needs to know that.
I did 450 on the leg press this week. Look, I got a bad knee and a bad ankle. I'm working my way up. Don't worry about it. So second down for the Warriors. Going to pump fake screen pass. Low pass picked up by Martin.
Oh, that's going to be.
And that's going to be, it looks like probably a rough in the passer on Anthony Antonio. I didn't see exactly what happened there.
Third down.
You know, the other thing of what this game has shown me is that the Warriors are vulnerable. You know, if you can put a pass rush in Javante's face, and just like we know from him being our quarterback, he can be inaccurate at times, and he can throw the ball away, and he can get interceptions.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be very interesting between, I think, the Invaders, the Pioneers, and the Warriors to see how this goes. And I think the Warriors and Pioneers is going to be a really great game. I'm really looking forward to seeing that matchup.
Yeah, I don't know when that matchup will be. I'd have to look at the schedule, but that will be another – because the Warriors and the Pioneers, they do have kind of a budding rivalry. They didn't get to play in 2019 because the Warriors had left the NEFL to join the CAFL that year. And then they came back last season, but, of course, we didn't get to have a season. So Johnson kind of looks like he's calling an audible there. So we'll have to see. He's probably going to match up against Travis Wilson there. He's going to look down the sidelines. Got Strong over the middle once again. Ball's loose and picked up by Quinn Redmond out of the end zone, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, and that's where you just got to know you got to fall on in the end zone and get the touchback.
Yeah. Although maybe he didn't think that he had that opportunity. But Johnson completes another pass down the middle to Strong, who, struggling to get more yardage, loses the ball before he gets downed. Ball goes into the end zone, and Redmond brings it back out to the 5, where the Invaders offense will start their next offensive possession. So with 7:31 to go in the fourth quarter, your score is Minneapolis 27, Fargo 12, with the Invaders headed back out on offense once again. So we'll see what they dial up. I mean, this is a tricky part of the field for the Invaders. They haven't had good luck when they've been backed up inside their own 10-yard line on offense. You worry about the snaps. You worry about handoffs between the quarterback and running back. You know, you've got to value the possession here and just try and make something happen. It'd be nice to see, you know, maybe with the time that's left in the game, to take this ball all the way down the field on a nice long drive.
That's what you're worried about.
As Jameis Neal does bobble the snap, but he does get out of the end zone. Got thrown down a little late there for my taste. And he'll lose a couple yards there back to the 3. So second
and that's why it's just so
12.
important to know the situation and be able to make the right play.
Well, there's part of me, to be honest, I would not be opposed to having some situations where we do go under center. I mean, there's not many teams in the NFL that do go under center.
You know, they say it's a copycat league. It's a copycat game.
Absolutely.
And, you know, colleges. How many colleges are having people go under center? None of them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a lost art. I would.
Warriors bringing the pressure. Jameis Steele's going to throw this one out, try to get it to Constant Jackson, who's going to run underneath it.
Oh, Constance.
In and out of his hands.
Ooh.
That was the play that you needed to really get out of the danger zone there and give yourself a chance in this game particularly. Like I said, 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions could put you on top. But you got to, you know, one step at a time. And right now it's getting a first down.
I mean, when's the last time, going back to the putting someone under center, when's the last time you saw someone run a true I formation?
In semi-pro?
Or anywhere.
Well, in anywhere, it's in the NFL. I mean,
But it's a
lot
lot
of
there, it's rare.
And a lot of times there you have quarterbacks under center, but you don't have fullbacks anymore. It's an extra tight end. And
Unless
maybe
you use check. I mean, that's
that's
you know,
that's about it.
Yep.
So 3rd and 11 is they got on the scoreboard for the Invaders. Blitz coming, penalty flag, slant pattern to Sigmund, not ready for it, and passes down low. And we've got an encroachment on the defense. That'll give the Invaders at least another 5 yards of breathing room here. And that'll make it 3rd and 6, which is manageable. Obviously, the Warriors really trying to pin their ears back and just get after Neal, try and force a safety or a turnover here. And you know what? Defenses in this league, I mean, the Warriors have a good defense. The Pioneers for years have had a good defense. The Invaders have had a good defense. I mean, I was impressed to some extent with the Mindak Titans defense last week. They played better than I was expecting. So now 3rd and 6, trips to the left for Jameis Neal III with Brandon Jones in the backfield with him. 6:39 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. Neal is going to have to run, and he's going to end up being sacked right there.
And I think that's smart.
That was the right play. I mean, I think he wanted to find Soto in a matchup, but he was matched up, I believe, against Warren Joyner Jr. And there's just no room and no time for him, so he had to scramble. And just there's not a lot of room. I mean, that pass rush kind of goes past him, and then it comes up from behind and just kind of swallows him. So 4th and where did they mark it backwards to? 4th and 10. So he lost a couple yards on that. So it's 4th and 10 at the 5. Jameis Neal III out of his own end zone to punt this one away. So hopefully he gets a good punt here. 5:56 and counting here on the clock in the 4th quarter. Snap to Neal, gets the kick away, gets run into a little bit there. I don't think they're going to call that one. And that's going to be down right there, but the ball is loose.
Yes, that's going to be Invader ball.
Does that work even though it was already down? It was touched by the Invaders. So I think the Warriors have the ball.
Okay.
So
I didn't see that it was down by him.
No, the ball kind of snuck up on him and he touched it. I don't think it was – if that was 36. I don't know if we have a 36 on the roster, but – so
I was kind of looking to see if there was going to be a flag thrown.
So, yeah, it really felt like they got a little bit of Jameis, and it seemed like it should have been a running into the kicker, just a 5-yard one, but that at least gives you another 5 yards and a chance
And
to
I'm okay with
it.
them letting that go. They let one go on the other side of the field. You know, that was very minor.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors after a short punt downed inadvertently by the Invaders. They set up shop inside the 30-yard line at the 28-yard line. So it was 5:34 to go here in the 4th quarter. Javonte Johnson with some time is going to try and throw this one out. A matchup against Williams.
Oh. A little too much body there.
Little too much body. I don't think he would have been able to catch that one, but I'm obviously pulling for the Invaders, so I guess I just don't agree based on that. Because it looked like Williams had the proper position trying to force him to
I don't know about that one. Looking at the replay there, I don't know.
So that's going to be a first down for the Warriors inside the 5. Looks like they're marking it at the 3. So once again, a difficult situation for the Invaders defense. And now is when the Warriors just try and find that matchup that they like best and probably just throw a jump ball or a slant pattern to one of their receivers. So it'd be nice to see the Invaders defense kind of run this defense properly, as far as especially if they're going to try and pass this one against us. 5:29 on the clock. 27-12 is your score. Warriors lead. Johnson's going to hand this fakes it to Martin. Pass, I believe, was deflected. So that'll bring up second down and goal for the Warriors at the Invaders' 3-yard line.
Really, I think outside of the turnovers, if turnover battle was even, this is a lot closer game.
It is, because 2 of those turnovers were inside the Invaders' 10-yard line and resulted in 2 touchdowns for the Warriors. The fumble by Brandon Jones didn't come back to hurt.
Take 14 points off the board, it's a 1-point game.
And then even the Warriors' turnover here, I mean, that did affect some things because, I mean, if he catches that and doesn't fumble, they've got first and goal at the 5. So you got to win the turnover battle if you want to win in this league. Johnson with time looks going to swing it out to the running back, and he's going to duck into the end zone. That's a touchdown. Warriors by Isaiah Sims. You can only play with fire so many times when you've got an offense like the Warriors have and you're setting up shop inside the 5-yard line. So touchdown pass number 4, I believe, for Javonte Johnson. Unless they had a running touchdown.
5:22 left on the clock, guys. 5:22.
Did they have a rushing touchdown? I don't believe they did they?
I don't.
You're not helping.
I'm not helping. Where are your stats? Bring your
Because I'm
stats.
trying to watch this so I can see the replays.
We need to get a big TV. Bring with us.
Something.
This is ridiculous.
I don't know how you work in these conditions.
It's hard.
So 33-12 is your score. 5:22 in the fourth quarter. Javonte Johnson's 4th touchdown pass, and they're going for 2 once again. Javonte tried to throw the fade pattern to the corner, and that one is going to be wrestled with and intercepted. So nice job by Travis Williams. So Travis Williams finally catches one of those passes thrown his way by Javonte Johnson, picks it off.
Well, and that's good. If we're going to get 2 or 3 corners back next week, and Williams can learn and really contribute to the team, that's great depth.
Absolutely.
You can't have enough DBs.
No, you cannot, especially in leagues where these teams have 2, 3, and 4 quality wide receivers. So 33-12 is your score. I mean, if there's anything, then these last 2 possessions by the Warriors where they got inside and fumbled it, then we had it and had a bad punt, and then they get the penalty for pass interference. I mean, that touchdown right there kind of really salts things away right now. 5:22 to go, but like I said, I would love to see the Invaders go down one more time, have a good drive, maybe get to the end zone, get a 2-point conversion, finish it off 33-20. But, positives and negatives can be taken from this just the same as last week when we had plenty of positives and negatives all across the board. Also like to shout out our own Derek Alexander's fiancée, as they say, who is listening. She says I sound great. Maybe you too as well, but So 33-12 is your score. Too many turnovers tonight for the Fargo Invaders, but showing signs of life in the second half with Jameis Neal III at quarterback. Trying to continue that trend. Also getting comments that number 35 for the Invaders is quote-unquote hot. I think they may be biased. Just saying.
Maybe
Maybe she needs to get her eyes checked. I don't know. One of the two.
I just got mine checked for the first time in 25 years.
Finally. Can you see better?
No.
Return this time by Jermaine Armstrong. He's going to pick his way through the middle, get all the way out to the 40-yard line. Nice return by Jermaine. I think that's his first return of the evening. Just has not gotten a chance to make those returns. 33-12 is your score. Fourth quarter. 5:13 remaining in the game. And as the Invaders get set for another offensive possession at their own 40-yard line, 60 yards away from pay dirt. Be a nice time to get something going.
Get some pay dirt.
A little bit. Just to continue to improve that offensive consistency, improve that timing and chemistry between your receivers, etc. If we have a slightly injured lineman, and we're going to have to take a timeout based on personnel. So that's the Invaders' first timeout taken of the evening.
If you're new to the Fire Network, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. We love having you with us. Feel free to comment. We'll try to get your name, shout-outs to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We like audience participation.
And eventually we'll have a donate button or something so you can help sponsor the Fire Network and get us more toys and cameras and equipment we need, computers to run instant replays and scoreboards and all this other fancy stuff. Folks, don't forget about Discovery Benefits. The cornerstone of their business is to provide responsive and flexible administrative services that create value for their clients and their employees. They're a customer-focused organization blending people and technology to provide high-quality customer service and administration.
What about Novelty Lumber or Construction? Who's that next one?
They don't have a read for Novelty. I think I've already said
Well,
that.
let's mention them.
Novelty Construction. Thank you for sponsoring Fargo Invaders football. You need something constructing that's a novelty of sorts? Just call Novelty Construction. They can make all those little knickknacks and paddywhacks. Jameis Neal III is going to throw this one out. Pass intended and caught by John Bonney at the 45-yard line. They'll mark him at the 46, but that's enough for a first down. Also like to thank Otter Tail Mid Dakota coaches who buses all of our team to where we need to go. Otter Tail Mid Dakota coaches. They've been providing quality motor coach and school bus transportation for over 44 years. They can transport your group across town or across the country. Call today and let them help plan your next group outing. Also want to mention returning sponsors, TailgateMaster.com, FargoChairRentals.com, Glacial Peak Cryotherapy. Thanks for all you do with the team. MPX Fitness, and, of course, Microsoft. Because they help the game because they made windows so I can see the field from here.
Yep.
No, is that the wrong windows?
I don't know.
Oh, my bad. Bunch formation this time for the Invaders. Jameis Neal is going to throw this one deep looking for Nate Soto, and he's going to come down with it inside the 20-yard line. It's a little nerve-wracking on that play, thinking he was going to overthrow it and the defender be back there waiting for it. But Nate Soto just goes up and grabs it. And just like that, the Invaders are inside the 20-yard line, almost to the 19, with 4 minutes remaining and counting on the clock. So like I said, this is a nice end-of-the-game drive that I want to see. I want to see them take advantage of what they can here. Because I'm sure the Warriors are content to keep the ball in play and keep that clock running to get to the end of the game. But this is building confidence and chemistry for the Fargo Invaders heading into their next game in 2 weeks. Jameis Neal III under pressure is going to throw this one deep to the back of the end zone and out of play.
Another good decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really taken another step up in his game this week. I'm really impressed with what he's brought to the table.
And a lot of times it really seems as though Jameis needs to just kind of get comfortable back there. It's not that he can't perform. It's kind of, get the nerves out, get the repetitions out there, get comfortable with everybody.
I mean, imagine if you had a guy like Nick Jackson to, give him some words of wisdom.
We're not saying anything bad about our current quarterbacks, Coach.
No,
absolutely
not.
I'm not trying to say that. But, no, obviously Nick has done a wonderful job at Fargo South and turning that offense around there in Fargo. Blitz coming once again. Jameis Neal is going to pass this one out. Pass intended. That time, if that was intended for Bonnie that time. No, that was intended for Jeremy Peterson. Under heavy pressure that time, got rid of the ball, brings up third down. 33-12, 3:27 on the clock. Clock stopped after the incomplete pass. So the Invaders have also had a couple drives that have been inside the red zone that they haven't been able to score. So, like I said, there have been a number of positives, though, especially in the second half. And granted, you're down 27-0. Maybe the defensive play calling changes a bit, but the Invaders have at least been able to take advantage of those opportunities that have been presented to build towards the rest of the season. 2 wide on each side. Actually, now they're going trips to the right side, the near side. And I don't think Coach Stitch is too happy about that, trying to get the play call right. He makes that motion where he drops his head and rubs his head. And he's like, oh, my gosh, you guys. Definitely 4 down territory right here. 33-12 your score. 3:27 remaining in this game. And so far this season, granted, and it's only because they've played 2 league games where St. Paul and I guess, technically Twin Cities have only played 1. Both those 2 teams are 1-0 in the league. Fargo is going to drop their first league game, drop to 1-1, 1-2 overall, and Minneapolis goes to 2-0. And this, standings-wise, is a big game based on obviously tiebreakers, etc. I mean, even a late touchdown here can affect the tiebreaker when you have the wins and losses, the points scored.
Against, yep.
And the most that it affects is a plus 17 is what I read, I believe, last week in the standings. So if you could cut this lead down from 21 to 12 or 13, that helps you. If there's other, tiebreakers that end up in a point differential, which we've seen in this league before. So 3rd down for Jameis Neal. He's got some time. Pressure there. He's going to just throw it up, and he's got hit as he threw. Pressure once again off the edge by number 93. That is Brendan Tamset, who's had himself a nice game this evening, applying pressure to the Fargo Invaders quarterbacks.
I do think the center has really upped his game. The snap is getting back nice and fast, and it's accurate.
I believe the starting center tonight should be Ed Guyton, I believe.
I've noticed that the last couple plays. It's really nice and crisp.
So 4th and 10 for the Invaders at the 19-yard line of the Minneapolis Warriors.
I'm looking for all the positives.
I know you are.
Optimistic.
And obviously we want to thank our host for the evening, the Minneapolis Warriors. Their head guys, Jason Yogi. I'm drawing a blank on his last name. I see him down there on the field walking. Obviously, their other one of their chief operating officers, Aaron Anderson. Got a chance to speak with him before the game. Some confusion on the Invaders' part on this 4th down. Jameis is going to throw this one back to the corner of the end zone, intended for Jeremy Peterson, and nowhere to go with that one. Confusion. I think we had Felton Somerville in the backfield on that at the start of the play. So that'll be potentially it for offense for the evening for the Invaders. There's 3:17 remaining on the clock for the Warriors to run out and walk away with win number 2. And I don't mean any disrespect to Bismarck, Mindak, or Twin Cities, but I still think the championship comes down to St. Paul, Minneapolis, and Fargo. And obviously, this loss tonight drops Fargo back kind of that 3rd spot. And then you got Minneapolis and St. Paul ahead of the Invaders. But, home and homes with all these teams can play a big part into how things shake out. So early on in the season, bye week coming up for the Invaders, a chance to regroup and get ready to host the Twin City SaberCats at Jim Gotta Stadium in Moorhead, Minnesota on May 22nd. Kickoff at 6 p.m. And there goes Isaiah Sims, a run. Still running, breaking tackle is finally brought down by Josh Gatling all the way to the 40-yard line. And that's something that I do not want to see towards the end of this game, is to give up big runs as the Warriors are trying to run out this clock. What is Yogi's last name? Jensen? Jason Jensen? Drawing a complete blank on there. I mentioned him on the broadcast, and I can't remember his name. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors. All the way out at the 40-yard line after that nice run by Isaiah Sims, his longest run of the evening. Taking their time.
2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
Handoff once again, that same play, and Sims barrels over the left side getting out to about the 42. So gain of a couple there. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Of course, the clock is now stopped as I say that. And now it's stopped at the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes remaining in tonight's game as Minneapolis leads 33-12 against the Fargo Invaders. This, even though it's kind of a long time in the making, this is a matchup tonight between the 2019 NEFL champions and the 2019 CAFL champions. Although the CAFL I don't think is in business this year. I think all the teams that were in that league have gone to either the NEFL or they've gone over to the Northern Lights Football League.
And these teams are completely different than those two teams.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Javante was on our team, and,
right.
and Dev Alger was playing for one of the different teams in the cities. He might have been playing for the SaberCats. I don't even remember where he was playing. So we're just about at the end of this one. I don't know if I mentioned Skill Cuts or Fargo Moorhead Visitor Convention Bureau as well as our sponsors. I'll run through the list one more time before we get out of here. 2 backs in the backfield this time. McClendon, that big fullback, they're going to fake it to him, get a little swing pass out to Strong, who's going to take it on the other side of the 50. You have to wrap that guy up. They're going to keep him in bounds. That'll be enough for another Warriors first down.
Who's 84 on the Warriors? What a block.
84 is Will McKinney.
Will McKinney with a great block. Taking care of that.
So
corner.
that swing pass like that, like a lot of people like to say, that's just an extension of your running game. You know, that it's not obviously a direct hand up, but a little swing pass to one of your guys, get him out in space, gets him enough space to run for another 12 yards and a first down. So 125 and counting. I mean, we should almost see victory formation here. I don't think there's any reason why the Invaders would obviously try anything here, but it looks like the Warriors are still going to run a couple more plays here to finish this thing off. So don't need any mistakes here by the Invaders defense. Hand off to Tyrell Martin. He's going to pick his way, going to bounce it out to the left-hand side. Still going. He's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 35 down to the ref keeps walking. I'd like to see him stop a couple yards back. And they're getting him all the way to the 30-yard line on that play. So 59 seconds on the clock. Nice run by Tyrell Martin. A lot of this rushing yardage for the Warriors is coming in this last 3 minutes of the game. So, I mean, that'll affect the statistics the Invaders have as far as their rush defense. But it was much better than it probably looks statistically. I mean, granted, I realize the Warriors passed the ball a lot too. But
again, there's some key pieces that we're missing on the defense. And, you know, you're not going to make excuses. And there it is. Clock
still running. There's the kneel down, and that's going to do it for tonight's game. So final score from Woodbury High School in Woodbury, Minnesota. Minneapolis Warriors take care of business, winning 33-12 against your Fargo Invaders. Thanks again to our sponsors, Moorhead Massage and Wellness, Health Source of North Fargo, Wear Repair, Thrivent Financial, Intrepitech, Novelty Construction, Dots Pretzels, Discovery Benefits, Ottertail Mid Dakota Coaches, TailgateMaster.com, and also FargoChairRentals.com, Glacial Peak Cryotherapy, MPX Fitness, Microsoft, Skill Cuts, and FM Visitor Convention Bureau. Do you want to have a few final thoughts, Franco, while I pull up the stats?
I don't have any final thoughts. I'm being distracted here by
somebody's throwing candy around now. So 33-12, final stats for the Minneapolis Warriors. Javante Johnson finishes the evening 20 of 38 for 306 yards and 4 touchdowns. I don't know if that interception technically counts as far as statistics, but he threw it on the 2-point conversion attempt. So I personally think it should be there because that's a live play, and if it was picked off, we could return it for 2 points. So anyway, it's not listed on the stats right now, so I don't know why that is.
We're going to have to clarify that.
I'm going to have to clarify that with our league commissioner. Rushing attempts, Isaiah Sims, 10 attempts for 48 yards. Also, Tyrell Martin, 7 carries for 24 yards. In total, Minneapolis had 19 carries for 67 yards. Receiving, 20 catches, 306 yards. Isaiah Sims, 3 for 11. Lakeem Johnson, 1 for 20. Nathan Cromie had a big night, 4 catches, 101 yards, most of that on 1 play for a touchdown. Tyrell Martin, 2 catches for 11 yards. Riza Mahmoud, 1 catch, 3 yards. Mo Strong, he was the big guy as far as the main target tonight with 8 catches, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. and William McKinney had 1 catch for 56 yards. On the Invaders side of the ball, Jameis Neal III came in. He went 11 of 23, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. A tough evening for Dev Alger, 5 of 14 for 44 yards and 2 interceptions. Rushing, Jameis Neal is credited for 1 carry for -2, and Brandon Jones were at 16 times for just 9 yards. So there was
Those tackles for losses are just
exactly
rough
those
for
big tackles for losses. For Fargo receiving, Constant Jackson had 1 catch for 9 yards. Brandon Jones had 1 catch for 4 yards. Nate Soto, 4 catches, 61 yards and a touchdown. And some guy named John Bonney had 10 catches for 148 yards and a touchdown.
That sounds about right.
He just continues to produce. For the Invaders, they didn't. The 1 interception was by Travis Williams, new player to the team. He had an interception on that 2-point conversion. There was a forced fumble recovered by Quinn Redmond. For the Warriors defense, they had interceptions from Aaron Berg and Tevis Wilson. I don't know who recovered the fumble in the first half. Brandon Jones. No real statistics worth mentioning on punt returning and kick returns. Ostertag was 2 for 2 on field goals and did make 1 extra point this evening. So if you've got nothing else to say, Mr. Franco, that is all from I'm sorry. Now you want to say something.
Well, we'd be remiss not to mention that Ferrari qualified 4th today.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, from an up-and-coming team in Formula One, I mean, we gotta mention all my fellow Tifosi out there.
I don't even know who that is.
That's the Ferrari fans.
I want to congratulate
Can you get with it?
I'm sorry. I want to congratulate once again the Fargo Force winning tonight 3-0 against the Sioux City Musketeers. They will advance to the Clark Cup Finals against the Chicago Steel. Start date of that series to be determined. So congratulations to them, our fellow Fargo sports franchises. And obviously, once again, St. Paul defeats Mindak Titans tonight, 45-0, and the Twin City SaberCats beat the Bismarck Wolves 26-6. Next weekend's game, which just so everyone is clear, Franco and I will not be covering games next weekend. Next weekend's feature the Minneapolis Warriors traveling to East Grand Forks to take on the Mindak Titans, and then the Twin City SaberCats. I'm not sure their home field, but they travel across town to St. Paul to take on the St. Paul Pioneers. So 1-0 versus 1-0 next week in that game. And then in 2 weeks, the Twin City SaberCats travel to Fargo, Moorhead area to take on the Invaders. And then Bismarck will travel to St. Paul. And Minneapolis will travel to play Kansas City Bulldogs. That's a big matchup right there. Both teams trying to set themselves up for a playoff run to a national championship game, which the road's going to have to go through Kansas City. Because Kansas City's in our region, defending national champions on top of that. So step 1, win the NFL. So whoever that is, they're going to get a chance to try and play their way to a national championship. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you for our rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling and stammering and everything else. As we continue to move through the season, we'll add back some of our most beloved features, which obviously are all of our commercials, graphics, scoreboards, maybe even a few other tricks
Baby
up our
steps.
sleeve. Yeah.
Baby steps.
But baby steps. Tonight was a good night. We had good internet coverage. We had good audio. We had no glitching. It's a win.
It's a win.
It's a win for Fire Network.
It's a win for the Fire Network.
That's all that
Not
matters.
so much for the Invaders, but
Fire Network defending live stream champions of the Northern League
Well,
Football
I mean,
League.
that's not
3
even-
years. That's
I
3
mean,
years.
come
It's
on,
3
man.
years running. So that's
Not
just
even
point that out.
close.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you had some fun with us tonight. We'll be back in a couple weeks for our next Fargo Invaders game back in Moorhead, Minnesota. So for Matthew F1 Franco and my